listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
As a parent, your life is your child.
With Luke, he's the whole world, you know?
He was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and it just rips your heart out. You feel completely helpless.
But when you come to St. Jude, that is a whole nother level of care.
You have cutting-edge scientific research here, doctors at the top of their game, and there's nothing but love in everything that they do.
I asked my wife, I was like, what is this going to cost us? And then we did a little bit of research, and then we realized that no family ever receives a bill.
St. Jude covers the cost of everything so that we could focus on our family. St. Jude gave our family the chance to be together. They saved our son's life, and we did not pay a cent. And that wouldn't have been possible without St. Jude.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Long ago, you wouldn't think of galloping on a horse while doing calligraphy, and you wouldn't have attempted to ride your bike while typing a letter. Yet you think you can safely operate a multi-ton vehicle while texting? Behind the wheel is no place to multitask. If you want to BRB, drive now and text later. Lives depend on it.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Jared Mans from the Spring Lake Fire Department, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
All right, folks, this is Thunder Thursday. Flash. I forgot.
You forgot which one that you do.
Oh, Lord, I forgot. I know, it's been how long?
I think it's been June.
June.
And everybody's been trying to get to it. They're all like, eh.
June was the last time we were on?
Yeah.
Wowzer.
Yep.
Can't believe, what's today? This is like the end of August.
I know. Because I was here last show with Suzanne Timbrook.
Right, I watched that show and listened to some of that, actually.
Yeah, it was a great show. And then in July, I was...
Dan Gruner.
Dan filled in for me, right?
Right. He might have filled in for me, too.
I think he filled in twice.
Yeah, because we were down in Myrtle Beach for a week, and you were in Wyoming and South Dakota, wherever you were. That was a cool trip,
That was a cool trip.
Yeah.
That was a cool trip, yeah.
2-weeker.
8 days.
8 days? It seemed like...
In some ways it did.
Seemed like longer.
Yeah. It was...
that's great.
Yeah, it's a very different world out there. I was actually... I was just telling the story yesterday that my husband's kind of on this need-to-know basis. Mm-hmm. So I didn't tell him that halfway through the trip, he hates driving. Hates it.
He does,
Mainly because he doesn't have patience and he can't deal with traffic. So my kids knew, but he didn't know that halfway through the trip, we were going to rent a car and we were going to drive 8 hours to get to South Dakota. So I told him, like...
I was in South Dakota.
Well, we were going to go to Mount Rushmore.
Oh, yeah.
So we stayed in Jackson Hole the first part, and then we went over to South Dakota. So my kids knew, but he didn't know. So I go and I pick up this rental car. Because the first half of the vacation, you could just walk around town. Mm-hmm, Jackson Hole's great. You don't need
I've been there. I've skied there.
It's great.
Skied there. It's great.
And rental car prices are out of
astronomical
control.
They're like a normal car for the week would be $300. Now it's like
$1,500.
Yeah.
We were going to
And
pay
that's for a
$1,500
cheap-
Myrtle Beach.
that's for a
$1,500
cheap one.
1,500. And
for a sedan, not like a Corvette.
yeah, well, and what makes it
crazy.
even more expensive because I was picking up in Wyoming and I was returning in South Dakota, so that just adds a whole other inflation.
Just layer of
layer.
money.
I'm going to Florida a week from tomorrow, and normally to fly from Albany on Southwest to Fort Lauderdale, it's like, I don't know, $300 round trip you go through Baltimore and then go through there. It's almost it was $650.
Yeah, the airlines
for
are out
3
of
nights.
control. The
To go to
airlines
Fort
are out of
Lauderdale.
control. They're like everything else.
Yeah.
And
Like,
Yeah.
remember we were talking about this
JetBlue.
with JetBlue using to fly
Right.
out of Stewart or wherever. They don't even fly out of there anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
it's only
like, that used to
Allegiant
be a
flying
really
out of
cheap.
Yeah, but
Stewart.
only when they want to.
Yeah.
we
Oh,
got canceled.
We know that.
We got
Yeah.
can-
We
so
know that, yeah.
tell Dennis I drove 14 hours.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
14 hours.
Well, then we added on. We
down to Myrtle
almost got
Beach.
there because then we had to fly to Denver or drive to Denver because our flight got canceled. So we were at 13. But anyway, so I go in, I pick up this rental car, and he's looking at me like, the kids knew this, and I didn't know this. We're driving 8 hours. I'm like, yep, we're going.
I would have been pissed
We're
too.
going.
I have to say, I would have been like, well, I'm the partner in this relationship. What's going on here?
Yeah. Well, I ended up. I picked up. I drove most of it. But anyway, so we get in the car, and he is part of his driving thing is he likes to drive first thing in the morning because he gets tired later. So when he found out, we were kind of thinking we would leave early. However, we soon learned that you can't leave that early in the morning because of the wildlife. You can hit, a moose,
Like moose.
or an elk or whatever.
Right.
So we had to wait
They're out in
until
the road.
sunrise. Yeah.
Right.
So we drove. We left at 7 a.m. and we got probably about 45 minutes down the road. And when I say we are in the middle of nowhere, no cell phone service.
Right.
We
No
haven't
lights,
passed,
no
haven't
nothing.
passed a car.
Right.
No cell phone service. No gas stations. No houses. Nothing. And we get a low air.
On the rental.
At 45 minutes into the thing. So I'm just sitting there. And he said it first. So I'm like, oh, man, this is not going to be a good day. So luckily, about a half hour later, we ran into a gas station. There was snow on the ground
You got to
in
be
August.
kidding me.
Swear.
What?
I have a picture.
Wow.
And you walk in, and I mean, this is how desolate it is that they have a full bar in there in this gas station.
Nice.
Like a nice bar with a pool table
This guy
and
knows.
everything.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's like, so we filled the tire with air. And
Might as well get a cocktail while you're at it.
I know. Well, it was like 7:45. It was close, but
Bloody Mary. Start out with a bloody.
so we got in the car, and I kept my fingers crossed. I'm like, this could. I mean,
This could.
yeah. And I really was like,
This could be it.
This could be it. This could be the end of this marriage.
This could be it.
But feeling very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And but we made it.
Yay.
We made it. We made it. And then as I said last time in the air, our flight got canceled, and right after I returned our rental car, we had to go back to the counter and rent another one and drive to Denver. And I thought, well, this is going to be a huge fight because just the stress of
Right.
But we
Got
did that too. So
Amazing.
apparently we're doing better with age and time.
Yeah. I guess.
So yeah, we just kind of went with it. So
Yeah.
I think it helps that the kids are older too, and they kind of know better to just keep their mouth shut.
Yeah, right.
Actually,
Stay out of it.
yeah,
There's two?
so- Yeah.
Two, yeah.
Yeah, they're 15 and 12.
Yeah.
But it was good. How was Myrtle Beach?
Myrtle Beach was great. After we got there, at 3:30 in the morning, and
Because your flight got canceled.
yeah, it was supposed to be at 3:30, and Allegiant told us at 12:30 that the flight
That's
3
how it
hours.
works. Yeah.
3 hours. I'm saying, are you kidding me? So thankfully, Newburgh to Myrtle. So thankfully, Jody Stockdale, whose birthday it is today, by the way, Jody Cocapardo
birthday.
Stockdale.
Damn, we
Yeah.
could have she could have won a cake.
Yeah.
I
Some
keep
friend you
forgetting.
are.
I know.
Everybody forgets.
I
I even
know.
forget to put some of my friends in there. So
Anyway, so she and Dave, her boyfriend, from Woodstock Landscaping, I drove my pickup truck, got in there. They were in the back seat. Poor guy had a toothache for the whole time. He's laying out.
Oh no.
So it's probably better that we're in the car than the plane because the pressure would have hurt, would have been a problem. So we saved $1,350 on the air flight and $1,500 on the car rental. We saved like $3 grand.
Yeah. Oh, good.
We saved like $3 grand. So we gave some of that back in nice dinners and stuff like that. But Myrtle was great. Yeah, the weather was perfect. We're steps from the beach in a condo. Beautiful in the morning. So yeah, it was great. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you sent me a picture. It
a lot
really
of fun.
Nice.
It was,
so good
it was
weather.
really good. And I usually am not a sun person, but I was out there walking a couple miles every morning. I loved it. I didn't bake. I'm not a baker out on the beach. I read a book. I finished the Black Hand, Scott Harrington's buddy's book. Andy's Stack. That was good.
So was this the first time you've been to Myrtle?
Yeah.
I've never been to Myrtle.
Oh, you got to go.
Yeah.
And go to North Myrtle. I mean, the Myrtle is kind of the older part. It's not bad. It's not bad, but North Myrtle is much better. And they have these two big areas. One's called Broadway on the Beach, which is just a whole bunch of entertainment places. And we were in a dueling piano place. It was so cool.
Oh, that's really fun.
It was so cool.
That's
it was
really
great. And you could write requests, and they'll play them. And then the other one is just a bunch of other specialty restaurants and shops. They had an all purple store. Everything in the and
every color, so.
You'd go crazy in there.
My mom loves purple too. She'd probably go crazy.
Yeah. Went to a couple of great steakhouses. Yeah, it was good. It was a nice vacay, and the trip back wasn't bad. That was also 14 hours.
So now, what happened? Did they refund your money because obviously you had to cancel the flight home, but
They refunded. It took me a little bit because they wanted to give travel vouchers, and I said, no, not trying that deal. But they also gave us $4 $100 cash back.
Oh, that was nice.
Type of thing So, and I was a little concerned about it because they asked for my bank account numbers.
They're taking it out. They're sweeping
right. They're sweeping whatever, not much in there, but no kidding. So. So they gave us and then they gave us $50 travel vouchers. So they gave us essentially $600, $100 in cash, $400 in cash, and $200 in travel vouchers.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And the $1,350 back.
Good.
So, yeah. Which was weird only because we were supposed to go last year and it got canceled by COVID. So we had, we used credits from last year.
That's what we ran into as well.
It's a mess.
It's a mess because we used credits for our flight and then our flight ended up getting canceled. Same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Really a nightmare. I really do feel bad for the airline industry and those that are working right now.
No, I feel bad for the workers.
It is out of their hands, and I will tell you what I experienced. Most of the people were kind of pretty calm because there were flights canceled all over the place, and so that was good to see. Because usually, maybe because we were in South Dakota and I wasn't in. I'm used to being in New York. People
Chicago,
are a little bit
New York,
nicer,
They'll trample you there.
But people were pretty patient.
Yeah, they were. I talked to the guy about the refund, and he said the demand has just gone off the hook for air flights. People are just cooped up, tired, blah blah blah. They want to get on a flight and go somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's demand issues, and then there's staffing issues.
I heard there's pilot shortages.
There's crews at the with the
flags,
those
with the earmuffs.
Those guys not there. Baggage people, everything. There's just there's a shortage and an increased demand, which is why it's getting crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's a very weird time. I think I always laugh like first world problems.
Right.
You don't realize all these things that we used to have and take for granted, like the things like that you would never think would happen.
Yeah.
And here we are, and it's kind of like this inconvenience. We're just so spoiled.
We're wickedly spoiled.
Yeah.
I've said this before. I've been to Haiti a couple of times with Rotary, and you come back with a totally different perspective. And now they've had another earthquake down there, not near Port-au-Prince, about 80 miles from Port-au-Prince, which is their major city, like 1.2 million people. But
another earthquake after the one.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh no, not
okay,
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah, that one. But I'm saying, the stuff we just take for granted. I mean,
I know.
It's just ridiculous. Turn a light on, go water faucet, water comes out.
Yeah.
Drinkable water, potable water.
Yeah.
Hot water. Yeah, forget hot water there. The sewer system.
That's nice. Flush the toilet.
To have. and it goes away instead of in the street.
Yeah.
Oh, garbage pickup? Oh, garbage pickup? Oh, yeah, not so much down there. Not so much. So traffic lights?
Yeah.
Forget the roundabout. You're on your own. It's like chaos in an intersection in these places, in the big cities. We traveled up north, and it's a smaller city, but they still have the same issues. They got to walk, for water every day, carrying gallon jugs, So I don't want to. You don't want to hear it around here. Well, geez, my electricity went out.
I know that.
They never have electricity.
That happened to us the other day.
Yeah.
But see, luckily, again, first world, we have a generator. I mean, our first world problem was our ovens weren't on our generator. That was our problem.
What are we gonna do?
I know.
We got to go get takeout.
Yeah.
Oh Lord! So
first world.
Yeah. So what do you think about all the stuff in Albany going on? So crazy,
we have a new governor.
New governor, Hochul. You know what's weird about that? I think it was in 2018, Norman Staffing sponsored a chamber breakfast. You know who the speaker was? Kathy Hochul.
Really?
Yes, I have big pictures with her. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Claim to fame. If she goes anywhere, I'm going to say it was because of Norman Staffing.
Yes.
We sponsored your breakfast.
It will be, how much? There's 2.5 years left, I think, on that term.
No, I think she's got to run in 9 months. I don't think she gets to stay. I don't know, maybe somebody can correct us. Give us a call, 331-9255. I don't think she gets 2.5 years. I thought I heard something about. What do you know, Lawrence? How long Hochul has in office until she
finishes out his term?
Oh, she does.
So he was up for election in November of 22.
22. Oh, right, 22.
Oh, it is 22.
Yeah. He was up for election. That's why some people were like, he's not going to resign. He's going to ride it out. But apparently the charges were. This is my opinion, not a fact.
Yeah.
Maybe the charges were so damning that they were like, dude, get out or we're going to prosecute you. So he left.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of a bum leaves his dog behind? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I didn't see
forget all the nursing home deaths. Forget a guy leaves his dog behind.
The guy got $5 million to write a book. You're going to leave the poor little pooch behind?
Yeah, I heard they ripped his Emmy away, though.
I think
they stripped him of his Emmy.
They did, it was in the poster.
Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. What ridiculous.
I haven't been following it. I think the best, the thing that just kind of left me like, really, was when he was trying to justify, I'll go through woman by woman, but when he said,
I'm Italian.
I didn't realize.
That's such an insult to Italians.
Yeah. That too. But
like every Italian's a groper. Come on.
Exactly.
I know. Yeah.
Come on.
So when he
we like to hug a little bit.
So that's where I'm going. When he said, well, at some point I didn't realize that it became, that was crossing the line was to hug. I'm thinking, you didn't realize you're the one who came up with the law.
Yeah, right.
That was your law
that
you were so proud of and forced down all of our throats. And I remember when that law came out because like a lot of our employees that I work with, this is the second generation.
Yeah, right. They're like family.
Yeah, they're like family. So ironically, at the same time that law was coming out, one of our employees who has worked for the business since I was, 93. So, I mean, I was probably like a teenager. And his wife died. And, of course I still give him hugs all the time. He loves it, And I remember taking this, and it was like right around the time she passed. I'm thinking, who are you to tell me
that
you can't?
Yeah.
So, that law came back to bite him in behind. So, but I feel full of excuses.
Yeah, I was listening to Kevin Cahill yesterday. He seems pretty, happy that she's in there, and I don't really know her politics. Some people say she's super progressive. I don't really know that.
So, reading in the Post this morning, she has picked Brian Benjamin to be her lieutenant governor.
African American, right?
He's the Harlem Democrat state senator.
He was from the city.
Yeah.
Harlem Democrat state senator Brian.
Yeah,
Benjamin,
he ran for
governor.
Comptroller of New York City, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, of Harlem.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a state senator.
Yeah.
Oh, he must. Right, state, not federal. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get this stuff confused.
I know, it's confusing with
There's
the
so many
thing.
different things to...
Yeah, no, I mean, that was smart, because and Kevin was saying she's the first upstate governor in like 50 years or something stupid
I think that part is just very interesting that she... Because, they typically, they come out of the city.
Oh,
and so...
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see.
Well, I hope she does well. I mean,
I hope
it's
so,
good
yeah.
for upstate, and I think she was from a farming family, if my memory serves me. She talked about that at the chamber breakfast.
Anybody will be better than Ann.
Well,
kind of, sort of, maybe.
maybe.
But
I don't know.
right.
Don't say that.
I promise you, she's not going to grope anybody.
Yeah. No, that's
I
not.
think
Yeah,
that's
no,
a- I think that's a
that's
safe
true.
assessment.
No, that's true. Yeah, and so I think it's a good, hopefully optimistic time. And I mean, if she's part of the whole party politics world, which she's going to have to be at some point, some level, but don't, just represent the people. Just, and the people are leaving New York State in droves.
Oh, they are.
Right, well, more affordable housing. Now they're taking the Ramada Inn or whatever they call it now.
The Quality Inn, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
it's a Quality Inn.
Making it
I mean,
affordable.
how much more affordable housing do we need?
I don't know.
Eventually, you're going to
problem
push all the
is-
people like the three of us, my mother, we're not.
Right.
The taxes are starting to
I
get
know.
ridiculous.
So my problem with affordable housing is I think there should be a residency requirement. I have no problem taking care of the people that live in this community.
Right.
But
Me
when
neither.
you open the door and
now
people are
everyone
coming in because
people are coming from out of state
right,
to do it.
Who is going to pay for this? And
We
also
are.
with the you need a certain amount of market rate housing. Who's going to contribute money to the Boys and Girls Club and
right.
the
The
YMCA
Y,
and all
right.
these other things? It's not people that are living in affordable housing. You need a balance.
But
of
then
the
we'll
two.
keep giving more affordable housing, but we can't let the Kingstonian happen. It's
Yeah,
just like,
right.
They're so
I know.
backwards
Yeah,
on their
it's re-
thinking. I don't
No,
know.
it's kind of off kilter now.
It is.
Well,
really
me and
is.
Dan
Wheels are
Gruner were
falling.
talking about that on Monday. If they
I'm
don't
sorry,
let
who
this
was?
Dan
Kingston,
Gruner.
the
Oh.
Kingstonian, Dan filled in on Monday with Fran.
Dan's like the
Okay.
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
he's
he's been
like-
doing really.
he's-
I'm telling you,
yeah,
that
he
guy
knows
knows
how
a
to
lot of
play.
people, man.
Gadget.
Yeah.
Monday,
He's
Friday.
very knowledgeable on everything
Dan
that's
Gruner.
happening in
Yeah, I
Kingston
love
and
Dan
Ulster
Gruner.
County.
Yeah.
He actually
But,
he was going to come in this morning, but he said he was on Monday
Yeah, he
and
was
he
on
was
on
up in
Monday.
Albany late last night. His
But
son
we were
was-
talking about it. If somehow this Kingstonian deal doesn't go through, you're
No,
never
that's
going to
gonna
see
go
another
through now.
developer come here.
Nope,
And even
nope,
though these
I
guys are
agree.
local, but you'll never see anyone come here and try to do anything because it's like
right. And I think
they
that's what
won't let it
bothers me
happen.
the most about the backlash that's coming out is that they are local. And they're always the families that step up
Right.
and contribute.
They donate to every
and
time you
donate
ask the
to
Jordans and
everything,
Bernards
and
from-
now you're
yeah.
trashing them.
Right.
It's really but it's always those people that are the ones that speak up, and honestly, yeah.
But technically, though, the Common Council approved it, so it is a go. The
Yeah, no,
school
it's a
board's the
go.
only
It's a
one that
go.
was-
No. There's
I don't know how you can say
no more
to it.
obstacles.
All the tax revenue that it's going to generate.
right.
What are those two properties doing now? One holds paint, the other holds pallets, and then there's the empty diner.
paint and pallets.
But even just the businesses uptown, and what it's
400 and
going
something
to-
parking spots? I
but it's just going to generate,
Look,
shoppers and
you guys have been in
diners
this
and-
community longer than I have. I came in 1980 at Kingston Hospital,
I
but
came in 1977. I was born.
okay, so not that much longer. You were walking and maybe talking by that point. But we've seen efforts to do something development-wise fail for like the last 40 years. I mean, it's ridiculous.
know.
So
I know.
this one hopefully is, I get hopefully the Tech City thing. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
that looks
talk to Tim
promising.
Wiedemann
We'll
and
see.
see what that's all about. I mean, the mall, they should just bulldoze that, right? Shouldn't
Yeah,
they? I
yeah.
mean, start again.
I would
Start all
like
over
to
again on the mall.
see- I would like to see some jobs. Like a lot of what I'm seeing coming in is like art galleries which is great.
How many?
Which is great. However, that's
That
not
doesn't
going to
employ
generate
people, yeah.
jobs.
But how many restaurants like Santa Fe, that sign has been hanging up there now hiring. They need like 3 different people, bartender,
don't-
bussers,
yeah.
I
waiters,
know.
servers. And you go
Lawrence,
to every restaurant.
You have no idea. This week alone, we've gotten like 4 or 5 calls from employers looking
Yeah,
for
people
people.
just don't
some,
wanna work.
Some like,
It's-
10 and 15 people, and I'm saying they don't exist. They don't exist. Mark Guido's, we stopped by there.
Right, he's looking for people too.
He could not open his indoor dining. He said, we only have rooftop dining.
yeah.
We can't open indoor. We don't have enough staff.
I know, because I've been
mean,
there. I go
it's-
there a
so-
lot. We walk up there.
It's just, hopefully this unemployment thing, that's going to bring some people back. The biggest issue that nobody talks about, this year, because of the pandemic, there was no seasonal workers visa workers from like Eastern Europe, South America.
That's holding a lot,
There's
yes.
a huge
So
employment.
the ripple effect.
I'm going to say 1 million people. I have no idea how many
Right,
come
a
over.
lot of people.
A lot of people come over. And those people are not there. places like Mohonk are down a lot of people.
Right.
All
and
those people are from overseas,
I think the other thing that's going to help contribute is and I'm very happy about this, the school board is kind of taking this strong stance that we are in person. And if you want to do remote, because to be fair, my problem is, I know everybody has a different comfort level, but the problem is for the kids that are in class, it's not fair to the teachers, and it's taking away from the kids that are in class because you're trying to teach here and here, and it doesn't work. It does not work. So we got an email saying if your child has a medical reason why they cannot be in class, you have to fill out this form in order to be eligible for remote, but it's going to be done separately. You're going to have your own teachers.
So they have some chronic disease or
so then it doesn't.
Yeah, a reason
So
why.
it doesn't affect the teachers that are in class.
Right. So it's going to be separate, and it's like, listen, unfortunately, you're not going to get honors. You're not going to get these electives. It's going to be, or you homeschool. You know. Yeah. Which I feel badly, but at the same time, you got to look at it. It's the whole. So anyway, my point about that is that with. And hopefully that doesn't get shut down if we get a spike. But with that being said, a lot of the reason I think is daycare, because people needed to be home with their kids to teach them or make sure they're getting on or whatever. Yeah. And so now hopefully that will free up some of that workforce and they can go back too. I do want to give a shout out to our cleaning service at work, Gabby. And she has been, this woman, she opened this business. I think we were one of her first customers maybe like 2 years ago. And she grew it up.
Great.
And really a go-getter. And
so if anyone needs a cleaning service, call Val. No, she's shifting gears.
Nope.
Doing something different.
Well, this is where you'll understand why. Everybody has left her for unemployment.
Oh, Jesus.
And now this poor woman is working 8 a.m. to 11. She doesn't want to lose any of her customers. So and she's doing it paid money for Indeed. She's doing all that stuff.
They're not out there. Don't waste your money.
But no, she says they come to the interview. She said, Val, I will take time out of my day and go and meet them. Oh, yeah. And then they don't show up on the first day. And this is a continuing pattern. Is this because of
every single day this happens to us? Norman said, all we do is interview people all day. We get ghosted. That's the new term.
Yes.
Ghosted.
Yes.
Ghosted. You get ghosted.
So why even bother coming in?
Because they fill out the unemployment form.
And it keeps their eligibility.
I have an interview at Norman Staffing, and then they don't show up. And then because unemployment can't track that.
These people are showing up to the interviews.
Oh, they are.
And they're accepting the jobs.
And then
they're not coming up.
Is this not a federal thing?
Or
it's state, but the federal $300 still exists until I think September 6th or something like that.
Yes.
Or the other thing they're doing is they'll do like a really crappy job, or they'll only show up that's hoping to get fired because see if you leave.
God, dude.
So anyway, the reason why I'm giving a shout out to her is if anybody out there is looking for a job. Cleaning.
Yeah.
And you want to get paid good.
Reach out to Gabby.
Call
Gabby Cleaning.
Gabby Cleaning.
Gabby Cleaning.
Well, okay. Well, they reach out to you too, right?
Reach out to me. Reach out to me.
Yeah.
Reach out to me, and I will, because I feel this poor woman's in my office every week, and she is in tears.
Yeah. So I'm
so overwhelmed.
I feel like I talk about this on every show now. It's unemployment. It's lack of seasonal workers from overseas. It's fear of the Delta variant now. Daycare now, there's
and lazy. Let's
just
say it.
Lazy. And because the government's giving too much money to people to sit home and do nothing.
Yep.
And that's bottom, and people are going to do that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate.
My problem with that is, when I don't know if you go to the gym, so I'm just assuming, but you go to the gym.
I look like I go to the gym?
You look like you go to the gym.
I
thought
you were doing 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups a day. Remember?
No, I was doing 100. I was doing 100 push-ups. The sit-ups maybe 50. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Well, that's good.
I mean, that's you go
to the gym and then you stop going to the gym and you get lazy and then it's so hard to get back into that.
I walk 3 miles a day.
Yeah. Walking is great.
That's good. Walking's good.
Well, I don't want to do it, but it's just back and forth to work 8 times a day is probably 3 miles.
Yeah.
Santa
That's
Fe
good,
to here,
though.
Santa Fe to here, back. And climbing stairs.
Wait a minute.
Margarita.
No. I live above.
Don't say you
not
walk
the bar,
to Santa
dude.
Fe.
No.
You can't do
Is that
that.
where you live?
You
I live
can't.
above Santa Fe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't
Don't-
there a cool rooftop up there? I remember when
No, that's
Tinsy-
apartment 1. That's where Kristin
Tinsy.
Yeah, Kristin Tinsy used to live. Yeah.
Yeah.
That place has got central air. No, I live across the hall.
That place has got central air.
It does.
You're in Haiti.
My air conditioner. I need a new air
Right.
conditioner, man. My air conditioner's hurt.
Well, yeah. That's.
I mean, it blows cold. I'm not like sweating or anything, but yeah. But no, that apartment is expensive. That's one of the bigger ones. That's like a 3-bedroom. It's got like a Viking range in it. And
Oh, wow, yeah.
It's really. I mean, Kristin Tinsy lived there for like 8 years or something.
Right, I
Yeah.
remember, which was really convenient. They just
Yeah.
walk upstairs.
Actually, that building's for sale for 1.5. If I hit the lotto, I'm buying
The Santa Fe building?
Yeah, it's been for. Well, it was 1.2 before COVID.
How much is it now?
1.5. But there's
my
5
Lord.
apartments in there and the restaurant.
That's still a ton
And
of
Jimmy-
money, dude.
No, but I'm saying like you could probably make your money back in 5 years.
I really hope whoever takes
Rents
that.
are going crazy too.
Oh, he's
crazy.
I'm telling you, he trust me, it's taken in like 10 or 15 grand a month. You got all the apartments. I mean, there are 5 apartments. They're all. I mean, I'm not going to say what they're expensive, and then the restaurant is like $4 grand a month. But he's not going anywhere. He's not. He doesn't plan on retiring or doing any of that.
Who
He just
doesn't
wants to
plan
get
on
out of
that?
the
Who are we
building.
talking about?
It's
The
been
own-
on the
the-
market for. I've lived there 3 years. It's been on the market the whole time.
So my thing is I hope somebody doesn't buy that and take my Santa Fe away.
Well,
like, what if they?
listen. Lock and Ord is for sale too, and I'm hoping they don't take that away from me.
I know.
Before the Christmas party thing.
Look, I think
know,
the
they
real
all
estate
are-
market is going to start. It's going to start going the other way a little bit because
Right.
the prices are just off the hook.
Ridiculous.
And I don't care.
For
Even the
everything.
New York City people can come up and buy that, but then can they get the rents that they need to make it work? I don't know. I mean,
Right.
Now I don't know what.
Speaking of Santa Fe, have you guys been to the Santa Fe Burger Bar in Rosendale?
No, that the old
No.
the old red,
Yeah,
the old
Red
brick
Brick.
tavern or whatever it is. Yeah.
Speaking about Viking ranges, one of our guests at 7:45, I think she's going to come in a little early. Kristin Reimer is a photographer, a local photographer, and she does Viking sets. She does photography. You can get all decked out.
We're going to
and
go to
with
break real quick. Well, after you're done,
swords
Steve.
and helmets and.
Cool.
Yeah, so
We're gonna go to
but
break?
she's coming in at 7:45. Val and I are going to continue to talk about how to solve the world's problems.
Okay, and then
When we get back from
Steve
commercial, we're gonna
Peruso's
tell
calling
everybody.
in at 7:30.
Oh, Steve Peruso, good,
Yes.
good.
Okay,
So
then
let's go to
take a
break and we'll be
Let's go
back
do
in a few
that.
minutes.
Sounds good. Take it.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM. And also online at mykcr.org.
Swimming pools are great for family fun, and Central Hudson wants you to play it safe. Never operate an electric appliance next to or in the pool. Be sure pool motors and filters are grounded. Have them installed by a professional and serviced by a licensed professional electrician. Be very careful if there are electric lines above or near a pool, especially if using long-handled cleaning tools. And if a storm is nearby, get out of the water. Your safety matters.
Hi, I'm Steve Thomas for Habitat for Humanity Restore. Habitat Restores are nonprofit home improvement stores and donation centers that sell new and gently used furniture, building materials, and appliances to the public at a fraction of the retail cost. The Ulster County Restore at 406 Route 28 in Kingston needs your donations. Call our hotline at 845-853-7499 to schedule your free pickup. And thanks.
Everyone is talking about healthcare these days. America spends twice that of other developed countries on our healthcare system, yet our health ranks near the bottom. How can we stop spending so much and getting so little? By shifting to a system that gives more patients access to strong primary care. Primary care can help make America healthy again. To learn more about the benefits of primary care, visit www.healthisprimary.org. This message is brought to you by America's Family Physicians.
Screening exams for breast, lung, or colorectal cancers are necessary to detect and treat disease at its earliest, most curable stage. But you may have some concerns and questions. Answer your questions and ease your fears by visiting radiologyinfo.org. In addition to information on screening and wellness, you'll find more than 200 descriptions of radiologic exams, procedures, and treatments to help you prepare. Get informed and be prepared. Visit radiologyinfo.org, produced by the Radiological Society of North America and the American College of Radiology.
Hi, this is Winnie from the Rosendale Seniors, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by the First Savings Bank in Ulster County that still remains local to this day. Ulster Savings Bank, a community bank that's invested in local business, invested in community, invested in you. Ulster Savings Bank, your one-stop resource for everything local. Locations throughout the Hudson Valley and online at ulstersavings.com. Member FDIC.
Okay.
Did I almost say a bad word? This is Tony Marmo, and this is Thunder Thursday. And Flash.
Ba-ba-ba-boom. Jeez, it's been a while.
You gotta brush up on your...
I know. I know. I'm out of sync because we haven't been together in a month. I know. We got to get back in the
YouTube's off.
Yeah, Stella, get your groove back.
On the phone, we have Steve Peruso. He's running for alderman in Ward 1. Good morning, Steve.
Steve, how are you?
Hello.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve. Val Dwyer.
Tony Marmo, how you doing, man?
How are you both? Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Well, you got to put more coins in the machine there, or what? In the phone?
Yeah.
Put a couple more phone booth quarters.
Good, right?
Are you there?
Everything's great. I'm right here. Can you hear me okay?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Are you in a good cell phone spot, Steve? Because if you're not, it's going to come in over the radio pretty bad.
This is about as
I can hear you.
Okay, that's good.
That's good.
We can hear you.
So you're running for alderman.
I am.
Good.
I am. And
thank you. First of all, thank you for stepping up, Steve.
Thank you, and thank you for your unrelenting support and your kind, supportive words. It's been quite a interesting period since I decided. You know, I'm one side is it just my heart is filled with just overwhelmed with support, and then the other side I'm learning how bitter and hateful they can be.
Yep.
It's quite a
quite an experience,
sword,
huh?
I guess there's no middle ground.
Yeah.
At all,
Steve,
which is really basically what I'm kind of striving for.
Where is Ward 1? Tell folks where.
The reason I'm running is to bring some kind of balance and bipartisanship to our city, and what I'm seeing is basically a divided city. Just I guess which is indicative of the way our nation is right now on a smaller scale.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Steve, where is Ward 1? Just tell folks where you're running.
Ward 1 is actually two sides of the city limit. Going out Washington Avenue to the city line, and going out Hurley Avenue to the city line.
Okay.
And then it kind of juts around. The way the wards are separated is kind of weird, even if you look at all of them. And then of course you've got divisions where one side of the street is one ward because they have to divide it somewhere. But instead of putting the whole street, like for instance, I believe Emerson. Maine, Lounsbury, all those streets are the dividing line, but instead of making them whole, like all of one ward or the other, they split right down the middle. So one side of Lounsbury, one side of Emerson is one, and the other one is, I believe, 2. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of crazy. I'm going to be on one side of the street, and there could be somebody walking the other side at the same time.
Now, and you're also over by, like, Edson and Bailey. Isn't that also Ward 1?
Yes, that is also. It goes up, so, like, from Hurley Avenue in, and then over, like I said, to Maine, part of Maine, Upper Maine, up through Sharon Lane, Mountain View, all up and through there, Dunham Avenue, and then over across the street to the city line on Lucas, and then upper side of lower side of Lucas to the end of the city line, like right before DeBella's, and then it juts in there, and I pick up Fairview right down to where I live on Howland, and then right back to Hurley Avenue.
So tell us some of the issues that you think need to be addressed, or some of the things that concern you, and what motivated you to run for office.
Well, like I said, my biggest thing is I look at the city the way it is now, at City Hall, and we have a extremely liberal Democratic mayor, and for the most part, a very, well, not very, it's completely all 9 common council members are Democrats. So a lot of things are just rubber stamped. Whatever the mayor wants, the mayor gets. I mean, and I think some of the time, even if they don't feel 100% behind them, say if 2 of them are not in complete agreement, so what? It's gonna pass. If nothing is not gonna pass because there's no pushback, there's no nothing. It's rubber stamp. He gets what he wants. So, and even now, there's four common council opponents right now for the 9 incumbents. There's 4 people running against them. Wards 1, 2, 3, and 9. Yes, 1, 2, 3, and 9.
Right.
I believe that's right. So even if all 4 were to win, they're still going to have a majority.
Right.
But at least there'll be
balance.
There'll be some pushback.
Right.
Some pushback. Like, no, we're going to talk about this. You're not going to just put it through. And at least these common council meetings are aired. They're live streamed. People can watch them. So maybe they will see what's going on. That there is it's not just hopeless. It's not just rubber stamped through anymore. There's some, and maybe, and you know what? I've spoken to a couple of the incumbents, and without mentioning names, I can tell you that they've been receptive to me running and have told me they look forward to having some balance and some kind of pushback and talk. I mean, I don't think they're not all just there to rubber stamp it. I think they're frustrated in a way sometimes also. So, like I said, I had a fundraiser recently, and it was just super. Like I said,
I heard it was very well attended, and
I know you would have been there had you not been playing cowgirl out in the Wild West.
Right, she's out in Wyoming doing something, trying to rope a steer or something.
Unbelievable. Your pictures were unbelievable.
Oh,
you
thanks.
guys all riding around.
It was a good time.
I actually did that trip years ago. And
yeah.
It was it's very good. But and I know you would have been there, but it was a great fundraiser. I was, like I said here earlier, it just overwhelmed me. The people that showed up and the support. It was just great. And maybe realize again and helped to reiterate why I'm doing it for all the right reasons. Their kind words, the support, just great.
You know, Steve, I will say this, and I'm an eternal optimist, but that bitter piece, I really think it's a minority. However, they're very loud. So just keep your head up. You've been in this community a long time. I've watched you, reffing games with the kids and the youth and interacting, and you're well known. You're balanced, and I know that you love this city with all your heart, and I know that you're going to do what's right. So just keep your head up and don't let those people bring you down, because they need to be silenced. We need everybody's opinion. But I don't know if you saw that meeting, and I was just going to bring this up before the break, that meeting where there were obnoxious signs with vulgar words and yelling.
It was in
the Common Council
chambers, right?
Yeah, the Common Council came back because I know a lot of people were upset that there was no order in that room, and I know you were in that room. And they came back and said, it's not going to be tolerated, basically. Like, no signs allowed. And if you're going to yell, you're going to be asked to leave. And now the ACLU writes a letter about freedom of speech. And, they're coming after them that they can't do that. And it's like... Well,
I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, go ahead. I am.
But I was at that meeting. I spoke at that meeting. And this wasn't freedom of speech. This was just pure vulgarity. It was rude. It was obnoxious behavior. There was, I would say, 25% of the room was that way.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The rest, myself included, people that were pro, emergency response vehicle, which is what it is. It's
Right.
not a tank. It's not an assault vehicle.
Right.
The people that were speaking for it gave intelligent, thoughtful words to describe how they felt. I spoke in favor of it, and I also gave an example of seeing one of these vehicles in action as a emergency response vehicle during a hurricane, during a natural disaster.
Right.
And even stating that fact as an eyewitness, when I was done speaking, which people couldn't hear that were watching it, because as soon as the speaker's done, they mute everything. But when I was done, and I said it's not a tank, it's not an assault vehicle, it's a life-saving emergency vehicle. As soon as I spoke my last words, I was greeted with F that, it's a tank, F the cops, F
Wow.
this, F that, and given the middle finger continuously. And the Freeman reporter who was there reporting this sat 2 rows in front of me, watched a girl give her included, walk right in front of us, give us all the finger, screaming obscenities. She wrote the next day in the Freeman that she heard that it was a raucous event by both sides.
That's not true.
I don't know how she was there, and claims in a conversation with me, we spoke on the phone, and she told me she didn't hear any of the vulgar remarks, didn't see any of the vulgar obscenities physically. And I said, I don't understand how you can say that when I know you were 2 rows in front of me and you could not possibly not hear it.
Right.
So I know the Freeman now. I know where they stand.
Yep.
What was the purpose of that meeting, Steve?
Yesterday,
It was for the
and
tank.
Freeman was kind enough to write it.
No, I know what you mean.
So, I mean, it's
The armored car.
They are loud. The signs were vulgar. I don't know how I'm all for free speech, but in a proper manner.
Right.
Yeah, right.
The ACLU, I saw their posting saying that signs should have been allowed. Yeah, signs may be saying no tank, that's their opinion.
Yeah.
But not no
Nope.
effing tank.
Yeah, or
Right.
F your tank, or right.
Yeah.
So, there's ways, and you know what? In a way, I was appalled by the way they were let in, the way they were allowed to act, the way they were allowed to have these, their moments of, even when they spoke, even when they went to the podium, their F words was included in their speech.
Yeah.
They couldn't just give sound intellectual reasoning.
But Steve,
other
it
than
destroys their credibility.
It does. I was
Really.
just gonna
And so, I mean, let that happen. They can conduct themselves the way they want to conduct themselves. Common
that's
sense
what I was
people,
gonna say.
decent
I think,
people.
In hindsight, I think it was good.
Right, exactly.
That it was accidentally allowed, because I think the Common Council and other people that maybe were on the fence there, I think even the moderate liberals see this as a problem.
It's embarrassing.
I think moderate Democrats in our city, moderate liberals, anybody on the fence, I think they even have to be afraid of how far left Rise Up Kingston and these other groups are.
Yeah.
Right.
My problem is they're bullies.
The Peter Buffetts,
Yeah.
the Jimmy Buffs, that are just all one-sided. You know what? They're not going to be silenced, but at least they can be an extreme minority that will not affect us going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, listen, congratulations on at least stepping up, because it takes courage to do that, and time and concern. And so good for you that you're deciding to step into the public light. And we wish you all the best. And I'm sure your Facebook followers will find out when the next event is, and I'm sure you'll wear out a couple of pair of shoes or sneakers, banging on doors.
Listen, I had a bbig fundraiser. I'm in good shape. I've had people reaching out as far as my palm cards, my lawn signs. I'm totally committed at this point, and I will be pounding the pavement. I think that's the biggest thing I can do now is get to the people, talk to the people. I know, as Val stated, been active in this community. I owned a business for 24 years in Ward 1. I've coached Little League. I'm still involved in the Little League across from Edson School, going on 35 years. Still involved up there. I live in Ward 1, obviously. It's a big part of my life. And one of my big concerns in Ward 1 is the use and utilization going forward with Forsyth Park and Dietz Stadium, two great venues that I don't think we get enough use out of. I'd love to see a dog park. We have one down at Kingston Point. I'd love to see one up in Forsyth Park for the people on this end of town. I know my wife takes our dog all the way down to Kingston Point. It'd be nice to have one right at Forsyth Park. There's room there. I think we can use Dietz Stadium more. So I'm going to be out walking, and I will continue to try to do my best.
Great.
Thank you.
Good luck, man.
This time.
Steve, it slipped my mind that Dietz Stadium would be in your ward, and that actually makes me really happy to hear that, because I know that is a sore spot with a lot of parents right now. Some of the things that are going on there, that are being allowed to go on there. Parents can't let their kids there anymore. Or they're afraid to let their kids there anymore.
You're talking about. I was actually there. I got done reffing a field hockey game, and they've pulled the supervision. There used to be full supervision at Dietz Stadium at all times.
Security.
Now there's not, and I was witness to a group, whatever you want to call them, of youths that were riding their bicycles on a multi-million-dollar turf field with nobody to tell them to stop.
The motorized bike. Dan Gruner was there. Were you there when Dan Gruner? I know Dan Gruner was there one time. He said there was like a moped or a motorcycle that was going 40 miles an hour around the track, almost hitting the walkers. He's like, it was like a movie. It was just absolute chaos.
Somebody call the cops.
They did call the cops. The police officers asked them to get off. They got off. The police officers left, and they went right back on, because there's no
right. Continuous,
This is the world we live in. There's no respect for police. There's no respect for authority. That's what we need to bring back. Steve, I will help you any way that I can. We have to get you elected.
Right, Steve. We got to get going. We have another call coming in.
It was for Steve, actually.
Steve, we got a call for you, Steve. Hold on.
Go ahead, Evelyn, you're on.
Hold the line. Don't go anywhere, Steve.
Yeah, hang in there, Steve.
Hang on one sec,
Go ahead,
Steve.
caller.
Hi, I would like to say something about when people complain they want free speech. When they cause a disruption like that, what they did at that meeting, they're not giving people free speech, because they're not letting people talk who really have something to say, and that
great point.
Be helpful. But when they get in there and they do their cursing and they do their screaming and all that, they are denying people free speech. They're not thinking about them at all. They're just there to disrupt.
Yeah, that's a great point, caller. It really is a great point.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. No, and I also feel not only are you vocally not giving them an opportunity, but also it's like kind of this, like, I have to tell you, if I were I was in Wyoming with my cowboy hat.
I know that.
But if I were home and I were there, I sent someone to speak for me, and I kind of told her, don't go alone, because they will come up to you and bully you. And also, so for the intimidation factor of feeling free to say what you want to say is also a part, not just the vocal part, not just the vocal disruption, but kind of like the emotional disruption of making you feel scared or fear the.
Right.
So anyway.
All right, caller. Thank you very much for calling.
Great point.
Take care and
have a good day.
Thanks for.
So, welcome to Kingston, Kristin Reimer.
Yes, welcome. We have a new guest. If you're watching,
we have a new guest, Kristin Reimer.
What a follow.
Yeah. Thank you for coming a little early. So you're kind of new to Kingston, sort of. Now, how long have you been in the area?
Oh, it's been, I believe, about 2.5 years now.
Okay, so
you were pre-COVID.
Yes. I got lucky.
Good. Yeah. Good. When things were still open, you got a little feel for it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Tony tells me you're originally from Fishkill, which is, so that's how he said your
Connection.
dad
Baseball coach.
was
High
his
school
baseball coach.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
And mom,
Born and
good
raised in
friends.
Fishkill.
And then you went, so then go on kind of with your life, or then you ended
So
up
probably typical teenager. I was constantly, when my dad was teaching me how to drive, I'm watching how he gets to New York City. Like, all right, I'm out of here.
Take this road, take that road.
He's always like daydreaming. I wasn't paying attention.
No, I was paying attention to every turn we
was,
made.
Before GPS.
Yeah. I would have hopped on the bus and paid my $40 to take me there.
So as soon as I could, I was out of here. I went to the city for art school and majored in photography and pretty much stayed there until now.
What part of the city were you in?
I was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So went to school at Pratt and pretty much stayed in New York after that, in Brooklyn, except for I left out of the country for a little while and then came back and ended
Where'd
up.
you go?
I was in Tokyo.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool.
It's
Very
good.
Not
cool.
Wyoming, but
Little different than Wyoming. There's so many places like Wyoming. So were you when you were in Brooklyn, were you in the before it was cool Brooklyn, or were you in the Brooklyn that was cool?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it actually, what's interesting was before I went to Tokyo, I was in Carroll Gardens, and that was a time you really didn't walk around some of those places at night. There was nothing to do there. And when I came back, I ended up about a block and a half from where I lived at the time, and it was completely changed.
Yeah.
Court Street, Smith
Street. Yep. So I saw it when there was still a man that would have the horse-drawn carriage with the fruits and vegetables on it, and then I came back and it was all baby carriages. So. And I got to the point where I had enough, and I missed the country. I missed the animals, the nature, and the quiet, and I didn't realize just how much it affected me until I got here, and then I realized that it was really wearing me down.
Well, you adapt, but you really don't embrace, right? You kind of figure out how to negotiate, navigate it.
Yeah.
But down deep, you're saying, okay, well, this is not me.
Exactly. Yeah. It felt so good to get back, and
Yeah.
I did not expect to end up in Kingston.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask. How did that happen?
So the last exit between 18 and to get to 18 and 19 just always seemed so long for me. I said, no, I'm not going that north. And one of my first friends, Donna, she was also a neighbor to me. She lives in Rosendale. And when I was talking about moving, she said, Kristin, come to Kingston. I said, Kingston? What are you talking about? She
What's in Kingston?
And I didn't remember Kingston being very interesting at the time. So she said, no, you got to get over here. It's not a matter of if it's changing. It's already changed. All the artists are up here. You got to get here, believe me. So I came up to visit her. She showed me around, drove me all over the place, showed me all the sights, and I was hooked. And then as I was looking, I was actually going to purchase. So as I was looking around at houses, I did look around everywhere. But there was one that just called to me every single time that was near the Rondout, and so that was
Big
home.
house, big.
Yeah, I love it, and
Like
it's
a
got
Victorian, like the.
it's well, no, it's not really Victorian. It's an 1864 house, but it's
Big ceilings, big
yeah,
rooms,
it's
a lot of
gorgeous.
glass, a lot
Yep.
of windows.
And it's really neat because I'm right in the city, but I'm on a little dead end, and there's woods all around me, and it's quiet, and it's exactly what I wanted to have.
That's
and,
awesome.
And I closed on the house on my best friend's birthday, so it's like how everything turns around. And 50 years later, we're still neighbors and best friends.
Isn't that amazing? and you also closed a couple years before the real estate
Yes.
market
Took
went.
off. Oh, yeah.
I got really
That
lucky.
was a good investment for you.
Yes, and in fact, that house had been on the market for 2 years. So
Oh, wow, yeah.
So you did a little negotiating. and-
Yeah,
yes,
good.
yeah, I got lucky.
Yeah.
That was a good time, man.
Meant to be.
And what's the name of your business?
It's Photomuse.
Photomuse.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm a photographer, and I do business branding, weddings, events, portraits, and I'm basically the person you come to when you're uncomfortable in front of the camera, because I will change that. And my niche is actually in what I call transformation portraits, which I take somebody and I tap into their alter ego and turn them into characters, like Vikings or elves.
Val is saying, I think I can make this happen.
That's what everybody wants to know. What would I be? And it really, the wonderful thing about them is since you're tapping into an alter ego, you're actually bringing something forth that's very transformational. And I had a woman come in recently. She wanted to be a Viking warrior. And she's somebody who, she lost her husband to a drunk driving accident, and she's fighting in court right now. So she said, I want to come in, and I want to be a warrior, and I want to fight. And afterwards, she just felt so empowered and alive. And now she has these portraits to look at and remind herself that she
can do it.
Yeah.
And this is done in your house?
Yep, I have my studio in my house.
Right, so that's a good, the commute is pretty easy.
Exactly.
Up a flight, down a flight.
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of like Lawrence a little bit, going to Santa Fe.
Yeah, no margaritas.
Yeah, no, that's good. So what are your impressions? You know, we just, and we're going to go to break pretty soon, but you've seen, 2.5 years. You've lived through the pandemic a little bit, but, you just heard someone running for elected office. I know you're somewhat involved in, folks that are in, you've gotten really involved,
yes,
I'll say, right?
Yes.
You know folks, and what are some of your impressions,
Observations.
Yeah.
These people are crazy.
Yeah,
What did I
we
do?
can start with, maybe we'll go to break. I'm going to let you think about it.
Think about it, yeah.
Want to go to break?
Yeah.
Want to go to break?
I'm good with whatever.
We'll go to break, and then we have no birthdays today.
Right, we're out of birthdays today. There's a few tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to break. We'll be back in a few.
Okay. Thanks.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
There was this one time I went snorkeling in the Caribbean when I was a kid. It really just blew my mind. We saw the most beautiful corals. I remember thinking they were waving at us as they moved with the ocean. And then there were all these amazing fish. I'll never forget it. It completely changed the way I look at the ocean.
Most of us have a memory of being in nature we'll never forget. Let's protect the world's natural places so more memories can be made for generations to come. Visit worldwildlife.org.
Have you ever experienced a wish come true? For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one adventure, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant the wish of every eligible child. Visit wish.org now to help grant more life-changing wishes. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
This is the story of Daniel, who was born 2 months early. His lungs weren't ready. His heart wasn't ready. His parents could only hope that one day he would leave the hospital healthy, and they would all live happily ever after. Daniel's is just one of the more than 500,000 stories of babies born prematurely last year. You can help the March of Dimes stop premature birth and bring more babies home healthy. Learn how at marchofdimes.com. Working together for stronger, healthier babies.
Hi, this is Winnie from the Rosendale Seniors, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
Wow.
Okay, folks, we're back on. This is Thunder Thursday. Flash.
Ba ba ba
See,
ba.
back in
It took 3 times.
There you go. There you go. We have. This is Tony Marmo, by the way,
And this is Val Dwyer.
and we're back together for the first time since June. It took us a little hour to get our
Summer break.
our groove back.
Yes.
Right.
It took you. Speak for yourself. I knew what I was doing. I was
I
waiting
know.
for
I
you
know.
to-
It's different. I have different partners all the time now. So we have no birthdays, folks. Although we do have. I want to mention Jody Cocapardo Stockdale. Jody is a good friend of Leanne's and dear friend. We were just down in Myrtle Beach with her and her boy
Is that-
Dave Gutierrez.
That's okay. That's
Yeah,
what I was
Jody.
going to ask you.
Yeah.
Because is that her boyfriend?
Dave. Gutierrez.
Your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of my very good friends is marrying her son.
Oh, no kidding.
And I'm going to that wedding in December.
His son.
Andy.
Yeah. Andy. Oh, yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah, for Lake
Oh, you're
Placid.
going to that wedding?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be a blast.
Yeah.
You'll have a good time.
Yeah.
You'll have a good time.
It'll be, and it's right around Christmas time, so it'll be so fun to be up in Lake Placid.
Great.
Yeah.
So
anyway, back to Kristin.
We're joined by Kristin Reimer,
Never enough time
Photomuse.
for her.
But I want to give a couple shout outs. I think Bernie Reimer is watching on YouTube. Thank you,
your
Bernie. Dad, D-A-D.
Hi, Dad.
And Peter Brent, who's my best friend in the planet, and a former teacher along with Bernie. Bernie was a math teacher in John Jay High School and coach of our Dutchess County Scholastic League. He just reminded me, 1972 championship.
At Dietz Stadium.
When we clinched at Dietz Stadium,
Now these are Fishkill. They're watching from Fishkill.
Well, they're watching on YouTube from, Peter is in Wappingers now, and Bernie is in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm going to
and
Tennessee
Carol,
in
Bernie and
November.
Carol. We got to mention Carol, who's
Carol.
power behind the throne. Those are two ideologically opposed people, right?
Yes. Thanks for a fun marriage.
Yeah. So thank you all. And my buddy Jeffrey Cataract is watching from Media, Pennsylvania. So he's the Rotary guy.
My parents are watching from Long Island.
All right.
So hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom and Dad. I thought I saw your dad at Broadway Diner, and it was like a doppelganger. It was like I almost walked. Just a couple days ago, I was in there. He couldn't have been, because if he's on a boat, he couldn't be in two places at once. But I almost walked up to the guy and said, "Hey, Gary, it wasn't him."
Yeah.
There's a guy who looks like exactly like
Really?
Gary Errol.
Well, if he was in
sitting.
that area, he would not be at Broadway Diner.
Okay.
He would be in Eddie's having a turkey sandwich. So it definitely was not him.
It was not
him.
He was with two other guys.
Okay.
It definitely wasn't him.
Yeah.
But I almost
I
walked
have to
up.
look out for that guy.
Yeah, I got to look out for him. He was like, so anyway, I asked Kristin Reimer some impressions or reactions about Kingston. What do you have? What do you got?
I absolutely love it here. I know we have a lot of ups and downs and a lot of issues that are going on, and obviously from caller right before me.
Right.
But no place is Mayberry. You're gonna have to deal with things, but I think what I love so far about being here is the people that come together to deal with the issues.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first moved here, I dealt with a few things myself, and it introduced me to so many people because everybody just rallied around this newcomer to help her out.
That's amazing.
And and I guess because I'm used to, so from being in Brooklyn, when you're in a big city and everything's so spread out, it's diverse, but it's all spread out. So it's kind of rare that you really get involved with a lot of different communities.
Maybe your
at
neighborhood
once.
or your, like Carroll Gardens, whatever.
Yep.
But
here,
beyond that, not so much.
And here, because we're tighter, you encounter more. You experience more. You get to know more people from all different backgrounds and styles. And so I've had my eyes opened at 51. I've had my eyes open to a lot of issues lately that I never used to pay attention to, and just seeing different perspectives. And that's not to say everything's rosy all the time and people aren't going to fight, but it's been really great just to see different perspectives, to meet different people. And even in my neighborhood, I'm just so happy. I walk my dogs and I know almost everybody on the block, and we're all different, but I know I can count on everybody. And I've met some great community leaders. I live right near the Bruderhof house.
I was just going to ask you.
She's right in their backyard.
To ask you if you knew Malcolm.
Yeah. I can just walk right over into his back. He's right there,
He
and they're
is the
fantastic.
best.
Yeah. They've been
best.
so great to me,
Yeah.
and they look out for me. And there's been a lot of instances here where things happen so organically and magically, and it all comes together. Like the first time I got involved with the Johnsons was I had my dogs down at the waterfront, and Malcolm's parents were walking by, and my dog kind of growled at them. I said, I'm sorry. And they were so nice about it. Well, the next day, I go to walk my dog down my driveway, and there are the parents again. So I was like, wait a minute.
World. That doesn't happen in Brooklyn.
Exactly. And so then that led us to talking more, and then I would see them all the time, and then that kind of opened up an introduction to Malcolm as well. And so little things like that happen all the time, and I love that here.
Yeah. The Bruderhof is really a very special
They are.
community, very unique, and we're very lucky
They're a great
to
resource.
have them. They really are.
In a
They
number
really
of ways, and they're just amazing folks. They care a lot. and they put words into action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They just don't talk it, they walk it.
Right.
You know, so it's really important.
It's so down to earth too.
Right.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
Talk about the the artist community, or you kind of came up here to kind of get in the middle of that, and how's that been going? What do you see?
Well, COVID put a stall to that, I have to say.
Right.
My first year here, I was really just settling in and getting used to things, and then I was going to jump into all that, and then COVID happened. So that put a little bit of a break to things.
Yeah.
I have met a bunch of artists just in other indirect ways, but not intentionally. I have to say I probably got more involved with the women entrepreneurs in Kingston.
Yeah, great.
Through Lori Ostroff and Hudson Valley Women in Business. So that's been my main networking group here, and that's been fantastic too. Just what a great bunch of women. It's every event I go to, just so many fabulous.
Yeah, talk about that. I mean, because I'm not sure. I'm not in the artist community. I basically do stick. I'm like a stick figure guy.
I have to tell you, I'm the person that when there was back to school night, I was like cringing. I didn't want my parents to see my artwork, and I was such a bad artist. I didn't want all the parents to see,
a house,
write my name on the
sun,
back, not on the front.
Some grass.
I am not. But ironically, my daughter is. I don't know how that. She's pretty good at it. But so go ahead. So that's fine.
So the Women in Business group. What is that? Tell us about that group.
That's for basically, just a female women in business who they're your
kind of like a chamber, but on a much smaller scale.
Yeah,
like
little.
Networking.
Yeah, I mean it's a very large group for sure, but I think it's not as maybe not as regulated as some of the networking groups that are out there.
So
Like
not just the artist community. This is all.
This is everything. Yeah, across the board. Yeah.
Okay.
And so we do.
What's Lori's business again?
Lori runs Simply. Well, she's an author and she runs this group.
Okay.
Her company is Simply Leap.
Simply Leap.
Yeah.
See, there's so many small businesses in Kingston.
I know.
I mean, not that we're a gigantic city. I mean, we have like 23,000 or whatever our numbers are, but it's sometimes that's like
so much I don't know.
Yeah.
So geographically, this group is it like just the Kingston area, the Hudson Valley?
It's Hudson Valley.
Area?
Yeah.
Okay, Hudson Valley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got really wide reach, and of course through COVID we've been doing a lot of Zoom meetings, but there are some women who pick up and they do monthly coffee breaks or weekly coffee breaks, and so it's a chance to just come have coffee and network, and then she also teaches workshops, and a lot of women just come out and support it and do their own workshops, and it's really wonderful. We just had our first in-person event recently, which was really nice to get together again, so that was big. And Lori's a big hugger, so she was very excited for that.
That's like me, I'm a big hugger too. You know who else is a big hugger?
Who?
Our ex-governor.
Oh, come on. Oh, man, I just like... That was good. Bring that fish right in the boat. I mean, where's Scott Harrington when you need him? Speaking about Scott Harrington, apparently... he's going to be a granddad, and
I saw that.
Yeah, and Yvonne. So congrats to those two. Let's talk.
Boy.
A boy. It's a boy.
It's a boy.
Let's talk about Photomuse again. I love the idea of transformational. What did you call it?
Transformational sessions. But it's basically tapping into an alter ego, which is great also for business portraits because we can connect with what are you trying to sell, who are you trying to be, because there's something inside that we tap into when we're presenting ourselves.
Right.
So I've just started doing it for business portraits as well, where we're recreating this one iconic image of what is it like to work with you, who are you? Yeah. And an image that is a show-stopping piece.
I'm going to do
an
this.
Excavator.
Yeah. Put you on a bulldozer or something, or a.
Right.
No, but I think it's great. You and I were talking about this with the employment market the way it is, and hopefully people are going to start coming back to the job market and maybe freshen up their resume and maybe get a good headshot, dust off the resume. get a good headshot. How do people contact you? What's the best way for them to do that?
My website is photomuse.com. So it's photo, M-U-S-E.
Okay.
And Kristin at Photomuse, very easy.
Okay.
Kristin with an I-N.
Okay, right, because you can spell Kristin a million different ways, by
Yeah.
the way. Thanks, Carol and Bernie.
Yeah, making it easy.
Right, Carol.
What about Facebook? Are you on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on
or
Facebook.
Instagram, or-
Yeah, Instagram is Photomuse Kristin, but if you go to photomuse.com, you'll find all the information there. And I'm also happy to say that this year I won first place for wedding photographer from the Chronogram.
Oh yes,
Oh, that's awesome.
Holy crow.
I was going to ask you about the whole wedding world.
Yeah, that's changed quite a bit. I've had last year was a lot of postponements. This year I'm actually getting cancellations because I think people were postponing and then they were just feeling fed up.
Not getting married, or they just
No,
Tony, that's actually a really good question.
I know.
Because maybe they just didn't make the cut with COVID.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or maybe they're just like, we're going to elope. Or
They're doing small family weddings, outdoor weddings, and so it's really sad because a lot of people thought they were going to have their party this year. So they were doing weddings last year and having the party this year.
Right.
We all thought we were going to be clear, but we're just not there yet. So.
Are you doing videos as well, or do you do primarily photography?
Yeah, just photography. I don't do video. I'm connected with a lot of videographers, so I do have ways to hook you up with somebody. And
that's
to tell you, that's for somebody who's only been in the area for 2 years. I'm very impressed that you won the Photographer of the Year.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Amazing.
That is amazing.
It really is amazing that you've been able to network, and good for you. And especially because half your time here has been living through a pandemic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's really
Shut
that says
in
a lot. You're a go-getter.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
And
really
you're
cool.
involved. I mean, which is good. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of folks
Yeah.
that just come up, just kind of, sit there and say, okay, maybe I'll do something, maybe I won't. But I think you've been just the reverse.
Yep.
I think you've
That's
gotten
what you
involved.
have to do.
Yeah.
And that's the only way. I mean, I was talking earlier about things that are good, things that are bad. I mean, you make it what it is.
Right.
So if you just sit in your house and you ignore everything, well, you're probably not going to have a great experience.
Right.
Get out what you put in.
Exactly.
Be a
Exactly.
potential elected official here.
What ward are you in?
Right, exactly.
You're going to be there for me, Tony.
We're scouting talent.
What ward are you in?
She's not going to divulge that. But no, but that's great. So how did you? I'm sure all businesses kind of evolve, right? You start with an idea and you say, okay, we're going to do this, and it's not working. Let's kind of go this way a little bit. So how did that piece come to you? That transformational photography? Because I'm sure you have, or have you been doing this, but not officially?
Yeah.
Well, how did that evolve?
So where do I start with that? I actually, as I was going through a pretty rough breakup before I came here, and at that time I was turning into a Viking, and I was sword fighting, and I was kickboxing, and it was all about fight, and it dawned on me, oh my gosh, I'm fighting. I'm literally fighting right now because I'm trying to fight my way out of this relationship. Right. And at that moment, it dawned on me how all my life, because I was the punk rocker, I was the goth kid, and it was always something.
Kristen had a very interesting
different
interviews all the time. We saw one up there, you lost a dear friend, and I was just showing Val your Facebook page, and you had like that spike thing going on.
Yeah, 80s punk rocker.
Right.
But, I mean, and I realized that the way I would dress, it was a costume in itself, or a costume of how I was internally dealing with things.
Right.
So going into the city for the first time, and I was the goth kid. Well, that was stay away from me. I'm not sure about you yet. And so, and that kind of came full circle with people who would always say to me, I wonder what you would dress me up as.
Yeah.
So I just transferred it into doing it for other people.
Yeah.
And then I saw how much they responded to it. And oh my gosh, kids coming with their parents.
Yeah.
They have an hour of dress up with mom and dad, and they go crazy.
Yeah. How cool is that?
And it's actually, there's a study that was done on children who tap into superheroes. You see a lot of kids who are Spider-Man or Superman, and it actually is very good for their brains. It helps develop a lot of confidence when they tap into that. So the photo sessions add another layer to it in the end.
See, back in the day, it was the Western get-ups.
Yeah.
We were kids, always with a hat or shoot, Cowboys. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Similar to that, but we just take it a little step further now.
Yeah, right. No, that's great. I mean, you have to have really a conversation with the person,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
I mean, it becomes very intimate at some level, right? I mean,
Exactly.
In terms
Yeah,
of,
I
you know,
had-
that relationship, like one-on-one with somebody, like, okay, Val, who are you?
Who are you?
And sometimes they don't know.
Right. Dennis is going to say, what?
Yeah, you don't know.
You know, everybody's going to be waiting for yours now.
Right. Any partner would say, well, where did that come from? Or where, So, yeah, Kristin Reimer, you may be the key to relationship, nirvana. Right.
Peeling back the layers.
Right.
And it's a great escape for what's going on right now, too.
Yeah. It's almost like a counselor.
Yeah, exactly. It really becomes that. Absolutely.
Figuring out who you are and
Yeah. Wow, that's a little scary for some people,
I
isn't
know,
it? I'm not sure. Let's switch to what are your favorite restaurants in Kingston?
Oh, boy. Wow. Okay, I do have to admit, I'm feeling a little burnout on trying to figure out my restaurants here so far.
Okay.
I do.
Let's just say you came from Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's.
Which is really not fair.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not fair.
exactly. Yes.
And my son Michael lived in Court Street or Smith Street. I don't know
Yep,
where he lived
Court
down there
Street.
for a while. So Frankie's was his go-to place, which is Italian place, and I mean, but down there it's just not fair. I mean, the pizza is
Yeah, I have been
kill
on the
for.
Pizza Hunt, and
Yeah,
I
you
have to say,
can't.
am I
It's
allowed
hard.
to
You can't-
name businesses?
Yes, you are. That's why we
as
asked.
long as you don't say anything bad.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I have to say, and especially because Carroll Gardens was the Italian area.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I am very spoiled on
Right.
that. So I have to say, the pizza that I keep going back to that I love
Yeah.
is Tony's.
Okay.
Okay.
Right
they
on
got
Broadway.
good pizza.
Right
I
on
love it.
Broadway.
It's just a very solid. Every
Yeah.
time you get it, it's consistent. It's good. I
Right.
love it.
Sometimes their sign says Tony Pete's, though.
Yeah.
Some of the letters don't light up occasionally.
But that's what and that honestly I'm kind of shocked by that because Tony's is wonderful.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like it's really a place that a lot of people that have been here for a long time,
Right.
that's
Go.
kind of their go-to. Like my, and I'm not saying this because of age, but like my in-laws, like that, my in-laws
Tony's
grew.
Pizza. Yeah, that's
they
it. That
grew up.
was
That
it.
was where they spent their dates on Friday
Yeah.
night. They would go to Tony's Pizza.
Right. It was a big
you
social
know?
hangout.
So yeah, it was a huge. Yeah, my uncle Bob, he worked at Tony's.
Right.
So yeah, that's really. It's got very.
Okay, so pizza. Okay, so you're
that's what I'm
Tony's.
glad-
Okay.
Because again, half the light is out, so I'm
I
surprised
know,
you found it.
I know.
It's good. They got good pizza.
They do.
Good. Even just like you're at a good pizza place. No, I'm sorry, I keep cutting you
No,
off.
good. No, don't worry.
When you can order just a cheese pizza
Slice
and
of
just
cheese.
be
Yeah, yeah,
happier
yeah.
than a dog. Like
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they got good cheese pizza.
The only thing is up here, I think the slices are not as big as down in the city. I mean, you get like a quarter of a pizza down there.
Yeah.
I mean, for one slice is like a meal. I'm getting hungry, aren't you?
I'm just thinking of that greasy.
right. Cheesy, greasy. Speaking about that, well, let's just stick on restaurants for a second. 'Cause
Yeah,
that segue wasn't going to exactly work.
We're going to the Dutchess County Fair.
I'm going to, yeah, right, yeah. I'm not
We're
going to,
gonna
I don't
Foster.
expect to eat a whole lot there, but but anyway, so downtown restaurants, uptown restaurants, so that's kind of, everyone's kind of having, but uptown now is, kind of turned a little hipper, right? A little bit more city-like, I'll say.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about this neck
Are
of the
you
woods
like
where we're
uptown
in?
or downtown?
I am actually a downtown girl.
Okay.
I love going over to the waterfront, and
Yeah.
I love Ship to Shore. Too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that one is a big
Samir's
one.
great.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Great,
love
great,
that
great.
place.
All right.
Uptown,
Yeah.
there are some that I like up there, but I feel like I'm paying New York City prices.
Yeah, right.
So,
Interesting.
yeah.
That's very interesting.
I think a lot of the.
Because Ship to Shore is not cheap.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no.
No,
I
it's
was gonna
not.
say the same thing. And
No.
when
That
you're-
was just-
when the apps are like $12 or $14 or
Yeah.
$15, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You know you're in trouble. Yeah. So interesting. So have you gotten outside of Kingston a little bit to Saugerties, New Paltz, Woodstock? I mean, what's your take on
it's
some
funny
of that?
I would always come up from the city to go on the rail trail in New Paltz. That was my big thing.
Oh,
and now that
okay.
I've gotten up here, I haven't gone over there yet.
You're kidding.
What's
Other
going
stuff
on?
going on.
You know what I'm interested to ask you? Because I will be embarrassed if you've been there and I haven't. Have you been to Hutton Brickyards yet?
I have not. I've done the rail trail. I've walked by there.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
How was it?
Yeah, excellent. Excellent.
I didn't know they have a restaurant
Yeah, but
and a
Thursday.
spa.
Well, yeah. It's a big deal. I mean, those luxury cabins are really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done a good job. We're actually helping them with some weekend staff.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Bartenders and back bars.
Glamping, right? And they'll
Glamping.
set up like a fire for you.
Oh, yeah.
at
No,
night,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And the restaurant is, I think it's open Thursday through Sunday. I don't think it's open like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
And you need a reservation.
You need a res.
Yeah, we actually had a
can't
client
walk
come
in
up
there.
here, and we were going to go
Yeah.
eat there, and we drove up, and she's like, "Oh, do you have a reservation?" Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, we attempted to
Yeah.
go eat there, but we needed
Yeah, the food
a
is very
reservation.
good.
so
The food is
it looks
very
like
good.
it would be good.
A lot of, the folks that are staying there. So,
Right.
I'm
If you're
talking
an
to
outside
everybody.
folk.
There was a wedding
Yeah.
there. Well, I just took my staff there last week, and there was a wedding, somebody from Michigan marrying a local, and so there's like 50, 60 people there. And yeah, they were, it's great. It's
that's
right on the river.
Yeah.
Got the rainbow in there and everything.
See, my problem is I live uptown, and we always go because we'll walk. Because if I want to have a couple of drinks or, whatever, we'll walk, and that way we don't have to worry, or we'll take the dog or whatever. And so I'm so boring. We never venture downtown. And I think that's a lot.
Yeah.
And I think we used to, when Uber came out, we would start, we went to New Paltz or we went to Rhinebeck or
Mix it up a
whatever.
little bit, Woodstock,
mix it
maybe.
up. But then Uber kind of, now it's not as reliable. I think it's coming back a little bit more now with COVID. But, so I gotta make it down there.
Yeah. So those are some of the city conveniences that you miss.
There's 5
up here.
cars in the area.
What's
5
that?
Ubers.
Uber. There's
5
5
Ubers
cars
in
in
the
the
area.
area.
He's the Uber expert. He's the Uber expert. So you. So yeah, the valley. Well, not Have you been to Fishkill much?
I have. Well, and that was another little twist to things because one of my first brides up here is living on the road where my best friend Donna lives. She moved here, and
Osborne Hill, no.
No, on Smithtown Road.
Smithtown Road, yeah.
So that was where my best friend who's in Rosedale, Donna, lived on Smithtown
okay.
Road. So my first bride in the Hudson Valley is now living on Smithtown Road in Fishkill.
Oh, how ironic.
And so it was this great little twist of going back, and she was doing a goth glam wedding, and so that was perfect for me.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you knew what she was. Yeah.
Perfect. Check off that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's the go-to for wedding venues these days?
Oh, it's really, there's so much up here right now.
Yeah.
There are so many choices, but they seem to love all the DIY barns.
Yeah,
That's really big.
I'm going to a barn wedding.
that's
I
true.
have 3 weddings this year.
Sorry to
They're
hear that.
gorgeous.
Are you kidding?
I look at it now. It's just cha-ching, cha-ching. I mean, I just oh my God!
I know.
And you can't give $100.
I know, that
That's
doesn't fly
those days
anymore.
are like gone for.
Over.
Oh yeah,
I know,
now it's
I
a big
know.
number.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just excited because it just feels a little
Yeah.
normal. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I'll put in a plug for Michelle Marmo, my former wife. She runs Red Maple Vineyards right down in.
That's where we got married when it was West Park Winery.
No kidding. Oh yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
just
yeah.
won a Crown of Grammy too, I believe.
I think they might have. Yeah, it's a really great place, right? I mean, it's the setting is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is natural. They got gardens. That the city people love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they have a little winery in there, a little wine tasting deal.
Yeah.
And they're doing stuff on not just weddings now. They're starting to do some Wednesdays, and if they're just booked. I think like 80 weddings or something.
Wow.
It's just stupid.
I'm actually going to a wedding at the Mount.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I thought.
That'd be interesting.
Oh, I didn't know they were opening up. I think Leanne and I were we were the only ones that were married there. We got married in the chapel. We didn't have the reception there.
Yeah, the reception's there.
But we were allowed to get married in the chapel. And I think maybe Scott Harrington, and I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
it's
That'd be
there's
cool.
rare.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Brad Jordan's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I just saw a great venue that just opened up in Hillsdale called Taconic Ridge Farm.
Oh yeah. There's
They're
zillions of
amazing
them now.
too, and you just walk in there and everything you need is right there. That's what's so
Yeah.
wonderful
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
weddings up here.
Yeah.
It's all
The barn
self-contained.
idea, though,
Oh, yeah, it's big.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The chief and his wife.
Oh yeah,
They
Tinty.
do.
Yeah,
They do
yeah.
a barn thing.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Yeah.
Let's get back to you in terms of give some how people can contact you again, please. So, Kristin Reimer, please.
It's at, sorry, losing my voice.
Okay.
Photomuse.com, photomuse.com. And, sorry.
Okay. I don't know if we have any H2O here. We probably don't.
What, water?
Water, yeah.
I mean, I got distilled water in a jug. Kingston City tap water is great, Tony.
I was going to say it's probably better than Brooklyn water.
But I've been drinking city water for
No, that's
for
fine.
a long,
He's
long
like a drink
time.
out of the tap here.
All right, so photomuse.com.
Yes, photomuse.com.
Right.
And Instagram is photomuse_Kristin.
Okay.
And and you can find everything from there.
Cool. Great. Well, it was
Good.
great to meet you.
Yeah,
Welcome.
same here. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so much for having me.
We-
Yes, I look forward to it.
We
And
love
at the
the
new
Brooklyn-
dog park, maybe?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Steve Peruso.
Great.
So Kristin's a great example of the Brooklyn folks moving up
Yeah.
back this way. But even though you're a Hudson Valley person to begin with, we appreciate you coming in today. And
you.
good luck with, you're doing a lot of great stuff. And anyone needs a good headshot or wants to
Or
be
needs to know who they
superhero
are.
or, you know.
Viking.
Please give Kristin a call and contact. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Lauren.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
As a parent, your life is your child.
With Luke, he's the whole world, you know?
He was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and it just rips your heart out. You feel completely helpless.
But when you come to St. Jude, that is a whole nother level of care.
You have cutting-edge scientific research here, doctors at the top of their game, and there's nothing but love in everything that they do.
I asked my wife, I was like, what is this going to cost us? And then we did a little bit of research, and then we realized that no family ever receives a bill.
St. Jude covers the cost of everything so that we could focus on our family. St. Jude gave our family the chance to be together. They saved our son's life, and we did not pay a cent. And that wouldn't have been possible without St. Jude.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Long ago, you wouldn't think of galloping on a horse while doing calligraphy, and you wouldn't have attempted to ride your bike while typing a letter. Yet you think you can safely operate a multi-ton vehicle while texting? Behind the wheel is no place to multitask. If you want to BRB, drive now and text later. Lives depend on it.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans. Have you ever experienced a wish come true? For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one adventure, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant the wish of every eligible child. Visit wish.org now to help grant more life-changing wishes. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
Hi, this is Jared Mans from the Spring Lake Fire Department, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
Oh, we're back.
Tony had to go see a man about a horse. So there he
here
is.
comes Tony. We're back. We're back on the air.
Oh, yes, okay.
All right. Welcome back to Thunder Thursday.
Flash!
So I guess she left her sunglasses here?
Oh, she did?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Okay, good. Welcome back. We
All
are
right, we're
joined
here.
in the studio by Cheryl Bowers and Evan.
Rothfuss.
Thank you.
Get that right? Cheers, thank you.
Okay.
Got it, yeah.
Okay.
I get it.
On
I
that
get
savings
it.
Get it
bank.
right. It's been a long time.
I know. Every time I said to you on this morning when we got in, I'm like, I know I've got the fuss part.
Right.
So it's the beginning part.
I have the Roth part.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, there you go.
The fuss part
You got
stands
the
out
flash,
more.
How are you guys?
Thank
Good,
you two
very
for
good.
coming in.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. We've seen you recently. We haven't seen you.
Haven't seen you since.
Madam CEO.
Geez, I think the last time I came, Harrington was here as like a special.
Oh yeah.
Special guest.
Yeah,
Special
he's
guest,
going to be a
Harrington.
granddaddy, huh?
Yes, we had so much fun with
Yeah.
the gender reveal.
Yeah, I
party
saw that.
last week.
Oh, I
What
saw
was
that
it? A
boy,
flare
right?
that they shot?
Well,
a shotgun? What the hell was that thing?
It's funny. It was a great. It was fabulous, and the friends put it on for them. But, and of course, it was the Hurricane Henry
Right.
there. But so the first part was great. They pulled the curtain up, and BOY comes up, so it's a boy, right? And then there were supposed to be blue flares out in the yard, but with the rain, they were closer to the tent. Well, the whole tent fills up with the blue smoke. So if you weren't really sure what she was having, you were then. But nothing that opening the sides, fans, coughing. It's all good.
Right.
Yeah.
We won't soon
Trip to
forget
the
it.
ER.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
My brother actually brings up a story. My brother and his wife did a gender reveal on my parents' property, which they live on 100 acres, so it's very, very large, and they have like a area where you can shoot guns, of course. And he shot off this gun with ammo. I don't know, because I'm not a gun person, but anyway.
With live ammo?
All of the town of Kingston was posting on Facebook, what just happened? They thought dynamite.
Oh, no way.
Dynamite, they were blasting or whatever. And they're like, nope, that's just the Arrow Baby
Gender reveal.
Gender reveal parties, which then you read about there's some of those that go bad. So I'm like, all right, I'm glad they're done having kids.
Right. Yeah. No, well, it's fun. Well, we keep getting invited, Tim and I, because we're like the grandparent age,
Yeah.
And I said, when am I going to get to reveal one of my own genders?
I know.
And my son gives me the hand.
Right.
He just moved to Austin, right?
He's in Austin, yeah.
Is he enjoying that?
He is. He's coming home Friday maybe or Saturday for a week because he still does stuff locally too, and his girlfriend is moving from New York City to LA. So they just move at such a pace that I can't. We can't keep up with Chris.
Yeah.
It's like, where's Chris?
Yeah.
Where in the world is
working
Chris?
hard. He opened
Where's
his own
Waldo?
agency.
Yeah.
And he's doing great.
Good.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, he's a smart kid, and Angie's doing good.
She's doing great.
God bless.
She starts back. Well, she stayed in Providence all summer, but her classes start Monday. So.
Good.
Good. I
she's
love
doing
the
good.
Providence area.
So let's Evan.
Talk about
What do you
banking.
do? What do you do for the bank? We know this.
Yeah, certainly. No, I'm a commercial loan officer.
Okay.
Been with the bank for 7 years or so. Worked with Cheryl since then. So we do small business, real estate development.
Great.
Anything in the commercial landscape is what I work on with our commercial team at the bank. And Cheryl obviously has a background in that, so she's still intimately involved. And it's been quite the last year and a half, as we've chatted about previously.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Things are looking strong. We're busy. Strong signs in our market and good indicators. So
this has been
we're thankful.
A great year. And
Cheryl
Evan
Bowers,
sells them.
CEO, right?
Yeah, and proud to be.
Yeah.
Evan doesn't give himself enough credit because with reshifting of talent around the bank and retirements and open positions, he's been the single-handed guy for a year now, almost. And so, with that said, I mean, this is some just jump in head first and just keep kicking, and that's what he's been doing. And we're very humbled by the fact that we're having probably the most commercial business loans, real commercial loans, not these
Yeah.
one-off two-family houses, but real commercial. It makes you feel like there's something coming back, happening.
Right.
Yeah,
A
which
lot
is
of it
so
is-
ironic, though, because, everybody's saying, well, a year ago it's like the end of the world and da-da-da-da-da, and we don't know what's going to happen, and now everything is coming back, and if we talk about labor one more time, I'm going to vomit, but I won't do that on the air.
Well, there's no bodies to have.
There's no bodies.
Are you guys having a problem at the bank as well?
Beyond a problem.
Yeah.
Beyond
My
a
theory
problem.
is, here's my theory. They all got beamed up. They're not here on the planet anymore. They're gone.
They're gone.
They're in Mars. They're in
My
Moon.
mother
Where are
said
they?
very intelligently
Joni,
as we
Perpetua,
sat
we
at
love
the
Joan Perpetua.
She said, "Well, think about how many people died from COVID."
Oh, God.
And I'm like,
Okay.
you're right.
That might be a number. Right, it's
Right?
500,000 people, I think, that died in
So
exposure.
at least 100,000 of
But
them.
in Ulster County, a lot of them were in the nursing home. They weren't part of the workforce.
Well, that is true.
Yeah, that number just got added 12,000 more,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, what the hell?
Yeah.
I forgot 12,000 people,
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, it's...
it's impossible, and but you work through it around it. I mean, you just keep going and keep going, and
You feel bad for your employees
Absolutely.
that are really, toeing the line for everybody else, and it's disheartening. But let's keep it up.
There was a great, Leanne showed me a great little Facebook picture or something. It was, it may have been in a restaurant or something. If you're complaining about staff,
Yes.
we have an application for
Exactly.
you. Please complete one.
Yeah.
right.
And I mean, it's just all over the place, But that being said, there's still progress being made.
There is.
There's some inflation that's happening, right?
Inflation is tough. I mean, you're
it's
paying.
starting-
If I talk to you two, right? There's no staff. I can talk
Right.
to you about that, and I can talk to you about the cost of fuel. And a
Right.
sheet of wood
Materials,
is 3 times the
right.
price it was last year. This
supplies
time.
and supply chain problems. Right?
And
You
then
can't
keeping
get stuff.
staff, you have to pay up for. I mean, unfortunately, in the Ulster County market, especially, I mean, all the banks are taking each other's best help, right? So then,
Right.
or you pay up to keep the same person, and so
It's
the
just
inflationary
spiraling up. Yeah.
costs are out of
And
control.
that gets passed on to the consumer, and right.
Yeah, I mean, and $12 and $13 an hour jobs are kind of non-existent. People, companies call and say, we want to pay minimum wage. Goodbye.
Yeah.
We're not having this conversation. It's 12 and 13 or 12.50 and 13.50 are now 15, 16, 17.
Right, our minimum wage
And-
is 15 now.
Yeah, I mean,
but-
that's what's happening. Everything
that-
is shifted up.
and they need it just to survive.
Right.
I mean, that's not a
Right,
generous
right.
move.
No.
A generous move would say, "Oh, make your minimum wage $20 an hour."
Right.
However, the compression that happens across the organization,
that's
and when you're a small independent
astronomical
bank,
costs
you just
to
can't
that.
keep up with it. You
Right.
know, it's not just the new hire. Now, how about everybody that's been a loyal soldier, and then you pay up to them,
have to
and you
pay-
pay
bring
up to
them
their
up.
boss and
It's
their
so
boss.
true.
you know.
It's a ripple effect.
It sure is.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, so-
but like everything else, it's cyclical, and we're going to get through it.
Right.
Not to be cavalier about it, but there's been other challenges, and we've made it through. It's just.
Oh, it's true. I mean, the question is, are any of these kind of semi-permanent changes with remote work and, government handouts, are they ever going to stop? I mean, I don't know. Will they ever stop?
I hope
Here's
for the
more
sake of
free
our kids
money
and our
because of the
grandkids,
pandemic
they
and-
do, but.
Well, a trillion here and trillion there. Pretty soon it's real money.
Between friends, you know.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell?
With the remote work, you bring that up, Tony. I
Yeah.
mean, that has been a ginormous learning opportunity for us, and a pain point to an extent.
Yeah.
We did what we had to do and did it well overnight. Sent half our workforce home. Any job that could be done remotely, we were able to say that again. We're able to figure out how to do it. There was some challenges bringing people back. They had been home for months. And they were afraid to come back. Genuinely, anxiety set in.
Yeah.
Because they were home watching the TV.
Right.
And it doesn't take long for you to just
Panic.
Right.
And now we're at a place where, we've set policy and procedure around what jobs can be done remotely, what jobs cannot, what could be a hybrid. And how do you run a business when, I tell you need to come into the office because we're a tiny little community bank. We wear
Right.
3 or 4 hats. Oh, you could work for J.P. Morgan and do the same job for $50,000 more, and you can do it from your living room.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
that's the reality.
How do you compete with
can't.
that? You can't compete.
You can't.
Yeah.
So you figure out other workarounds, or I've started, and I like it so far, recruiting talent that has no banking experience whatsoever. I just told Evan about one, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no banking experience,
That's
but
fine.
has been in
Business
the business
or,
end of the world for
management
many
business,
years.
whatever.
let's give it a shot.
Right.
What do you got to lose? Yeah.
You got to grow them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Grow internally.
So,
I want to say, and Rondout Savings Bank is awesome with, relationship banking. I have to say, from my standpoint.
Thank you.
We're obviously a good customer or a customer. I'm not sure how good.
Great customer.
But no, but I mean, I feel, we've gone through the paycheck protection stuff and the economic injury disaster loan stuff, and you all are right there for us. Questions, issues, line of credit issue, what's going on, da-da-da. And that's huge for a business, any business that is trying to navigate through these uncertain times, to have a bank behind you saying, hey, what do you need?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We said that so many times.
Yeah.
Evan and I were kind of partners in crime with that, and Karen, who also has been at the bank as long as me. And it was, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and you're talking, and we had nothing to draw from. We did not have this experience.
Yeah.
Right.
PPP is going to start tomorrow.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? We're going to make it happen. Whatever. But I know the best calls I made were to the, especially the restaurants that shut down. We're shutting the next day.
Yeah, I remember. I was texting you.
Look, we're going to be here for you. We're not pulling all the rug out from underneath you. We will figure this out together.
Right.
And
that was huge.
Just
for us.
hearing that.
Huge.
And hearing it over and over and over, and still hearing it because there's still pain points.
You're not getting that at Bank of America.
No. The Nationals.
And I always say I'm a proud Rondout girl,
Right.
and I always say you get everything that you can get at a big bank, but it's a hometown.
You can talk to us. That's and same way with you guys. I can pick the phone up, and that's where relationship is the key. You started with that, Tony.
Yeah.
Obviously, if something's going wrong at the company, you're going to pick the phone up and talk to one of us and say, this doesn't feel right. The converse is, if we need something different from you all, you pick the phone up, and it works so because we're not just a number to each other. Mm-hmm. We're socially friends. We're colleagues. We volunteer together. So you're not going
relationships.
You're not going to.
We have an adult beverage
on the
together
line.
occasionally.
Maybe.
Evan and I have partaked in some of that
on
the cruise. Yeah, that was fun.
Evan, are you local? Are you? Did you grow up in the Kingston area?
I grew up in Albany, actually.
Oh, in Albany area. Okay,
yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Lives in Rhinebeck, right?
Live in Dutchess. Yep.
In Dutchess County now. And how'd you gravitate down this way? I know it's not that far. It's not like
Yeah,
Cleveland.
and I after I graduated college, I lived in New York and worked there.
In the city?
In the city. Yeah, worked in Manhattan.
Brooklyn guy?
Lived in Queens.
Kristin Reimer?
Yeah, lived in Queens. Worked in Brooklyn for a little while, and then
Everybody worked in Brooklyn for a while. I mean,
What are you Viking?
Yeah, what?
I don't know if you listened to our last.
I worked.
podcast.
It was still dangerous when I worked there.
Okay.
So
I could see Spider-Man out of him.
Spider-Man or Viking.
And then my girlfriend at the time, now wife, she's from Hyde Park.
Oh,
so
okay.
knew I wanted to come back up this way. The Hudson Valley
Right.
was, this was 2013.
Shout out to Olivia, woman of his dreams,
Shout
and
out to
puts up with
Olivia.
him.
Good for her.
Cheryl's
She's a teacher at St. Martin.
Yep,
right?
Cheryl's pal, Olivia.
That's right.
And
Actually, Tim's pal, Olivia. Tim and
as
Olivia
well,
are pals.
And the Hudson Valley was kind of this emerging,
Yeah.
it was kind of really the start of the climb. And I knew I wanted to come up here and
That's great.
reached out to Rondout, and they were like, sure, come on board.
What'd you do? What was your college degree in?
I went to
This is
SUNY.
not an interview. I'm just
Sure,
curious.
no.
He's not coming to work for you, Tony, so
Hey, you
you
know
poach
that's
him.
what we're living, right?
You poach him,
No,
you're
I'm
dead.
it goes to what Cheryl was saying about, you might have been like an art major or something, and you wound up in banking.
I was
literature. Or something,
I was 23 years old.
Right.
And
You went for business for college.
yeah, I did go to
college.
business. Yeah, and I worked in the industry in New York, so I did have experience. But you know, I was an unknown kind of commodity. Just kind of showed up.
Yeah.
And they're like, sure. Let's.
Well, that's it. I mean, the reason why I say that, Dominica Murray from my office, my business manager, who is an amazing person.
Wonderful.
She is a literature. I think she's an English lit major, and she's our business manager and knows QuickBooks like the back of her hand.
Right.
And I mean, she's just transformed herself into a numbers person.
Yeah, she grills me about the banking.
Oh yeah, she is. She is invented detail. She invented
Well, that
detail.
kind of goes back to what Cheryl was saying about sometimes you have to think outside the box, and maybe
Right.
maybe you have to look for somebody who's not. Who
A
doesn't have
multitasker is going to learn so well and perform so high on such a high level. I don't care if you multitask in a deli and I can bring you to the bank. You're going to do an amazing job with us because that's the doer, right?
Yep.
And listen,
being organized, having a good personality, being a team player.
Cheryl's always said if you have a good attitude and your effort's there and you work hard, right, there'll be
the rest of it
place.
comes easy.
Easy, yeah.
You can teach aptitude, you can't teach attitude.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you get the right mix, it's a 50-50 shot, right? So you get the right half, you can grow the other half. You really can.
Let's talk about economic development in the area. I think there's obviously, hopefully the Kingstonian is done now in terms of moving forward and all the reviews and this and that. That's going to be a big thing, I think, for our community. Then in the Freeman yesterday, apparently there's some of the IBM buildings being sold.
So I'm hearing.
And it's interesting. I was talking to somebody yesterday about that, and I said, well, how many workers are they going to need? About 300. I said, where are they going to get them from?
Right.
So, I mean, it's, I think there's some positive.
Don't you clone over at your company?
Oh, yeah. We have in the basement.
You better get going.
Yeah, but we
the
have
Petri dish is out.
Right, yeah. We have a basement cloning.
Tony, what are you seeing? And if you don't want to talk about it, that's okay. So there's mandates now for the vaccine for healthcare workers, and I know you do a lot of healthcare placement. Are you finding a lot of turmoil?
It's going to be a nightmare. I'm just telling you right now because we are struggling. One of our clients, a big medical client, has 100 openings. They do medical offices.
Before the mandate.
Right now they have 100. And if you start mandating, they're going to lose more people, and I'm not sure where they're going to get them. So at the end of the day, I'm going to predict that mandate is not going to happen because if anyone is using common sense, they will find out that if they're getting rid of folks, they can't replace them, right? And they'll figure that out if they care about their business.
They could require testing, and it should do similar.
And I
listen, my dad's in the nursing home. I want the staff to be vaccinated, and if they're not vaccinated, I want them to be tested.
Right, exactly. They'll have to come up with an
alternative. But at the same time, these same workers, I mean, they're killing themselves. There's not enough of them to go around.
I know.
Yeah. So
I was curious about that.
No, I think that there's just no way that that's going to be enforced because
they're not in the position where they can have that luxury.
Correct. They're begging for people now. Hospitals, nursing homes.
And we talked about, like, earlier in the show, we talked about, air travel and, things like that. And those are first world problems. But it is scary when you get into a situation, especially, if we get another wave of this variant where you don't have staff in a hospital to treat patients. That's a really scary predicament to be in.
Yeah, it's happening. We live that every day. I mean, we're nursing. I mean, our medical clients calling us frequently. Do you have? And the answer is no. I wish we did. Right. I mean, I'd be like,
and at the same time,
Bill Gates maybe now.
Yeah.
If we could get into the high schools and go back, I know you're an old hospital guy, so I think you'll agree with me in that LPNs served a great place in the nursing field.
Cheryl, BOCES stopped the LPN program.
I know they did. That's why I'm saying.
And they stopped. I think they might have stopped the CNA program too.
Unfortunately.
The Certified Nursing Assistant Program, which is ridiculous. I mean, and if it's an economic issue, then they need to be talking to folks. But yeah, it's very scary. It's scary.
That bothers me because not everybody's going to go to a 4-year school.
Correct.
Or any school. Maybe maybe it doesn't bring
programs.
them. Right.
CNA is 3 months. Yeah. We need these.
Up in Rhode
Island,
you can get hired at the nursing home without your CNA. They pay you while you're getting your CNA, and you're committed to staying with them for X number of months or whatever. That's a great solution.
It is.
Yeah. Well, maybe Governor Hochul will get a little bit active. I'm optimistic. She was served on a town board for 12 years.
She knows local government.
She knows local government, and she knows the federal government. So hopefully she can bring a practical approach.
But
and
this
she
is
was
a problem. Even when I was out in South Dakota and Wyoming.
No, I know it's not just here.
It's not just here.
Well, it's because of national policies and basically given $1,300, $1,500, $300 per kid. What more stuff can we give away so that people can sit home?
If there was a matching
and don't pay your rent.
Oh,
don't pay your rent and here's extra money.
You're not going to get
evicted. People up for failure.
Bad.
That's just it. If there was salary matching, I mean, we'd have so many workers in the house, right?
Yeah.
Because,
I
you
know,
know, if we
and
could
that's where they should
supplement-
really put their money,
and-
is incentives to go to work.
Right. There's actually incentives not to go to work,
Work.
because
Right.
if X, Y, and Z makes this much, then they have to stay home,
Yeah,
and other
it's bad.
benefits are going to be cut off, and the amount they can make is not enough to support their family.
Yeah.
So Joe Biden, if you're listening, we have the solution right here in Uptown Kingston.
His hearing aids are probably not on. Right? Universal income, another bad idea. Horrible, bad idea. Let's give people $1,000 a month just because they need it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, what's happening to
like
capitalism
once
and
you-
just working hard? What happened to
I
that?
feel like once you lose that work ethic too, it's like it just doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Well, you learn it, right? So the kids that are 12, 13, they're
Yeah.
our future, right?
Right.
They're learning that you don't have to go to work, and you can still live pretty I don't
Yeah,
want to say
unemployment.
comfortably,
No,
you know,
no.
but
Right.
you can still live without going to work. So
Right.
then they become 14, they don't go get their work papers.
Right.
They become 16, they want a car, they don't get a job. And it's just,
Yeah,
you
it's
see where the
cyclical.
whole
And it becomes
generation,
generational.
it gets, you know, pulled down.
Right.
I'm curious to see, and I think the federal unemployment stops, just looking at the calendar, I think it stops September 6th or 7th.
It's supposed to, but is it with this variant and they think it's going to get worse? Is it going
I don't
to
think you're gonna
stop?
see it
I think
stop.
it's
Well,
going
if
to
the elected
extend.
officials, Representative, what's our little guy? No.
Oh, federal?
No, yeah.
Federal?
Antonio.
Thank you, Delgado.
Oh, Delgado.
Thank you. You only had to say my first name.
Yeah, right.
If you're listening,
Of all people.
please take this message to Washington.
Yes.
It's got to stop. It's got to stop, because plenty of jobs. Ulster County's ready to go. What do you have on? You have a couple notes here, because
Well, you know, we get handed stuff as we walk out the door because our marketing team is
right. So
fabulous.
say this, say that.
And
Shout out to Jen, right?
Well,
Is that
Jen's
Jen?
on vacation, but Megan, who is the other half of
Mm-hmm.
our marketing team, is fabulous. And she wanted to make sure that we talked about some of the community events that we're either sponsoring or part
Great.
of.
Let's hear that.
And the one I wanted to start with, actually, I want to give a shout out to the Phoenicia Festival of Voice, because that starts tomorrow.
Yep.
And
Maria
I don't.
Tadaro, Louis Ote, and that
I
their
don't
crew.
know how or why, but I've been asked to have the opening few minutes of the to open it up and have a
Yay.
little speech. And
Yay.
and Maria has a way of bringing the festival and the voice and the operatics and the artists to reality, and she
Yeah.
wants to speak from a perspective of, you know, the devastation to the industry and how did you make it through COVID? You're a woman leader, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
she has a real good
She's
way
great.
of bringing it
She's
real.
great. Good for you. That's great.
But
Fantastic.
we have, and I'll talk about one more, and then you can talk about anything you want, but we have an employee appreciation week coming up next week. And we don't do those because it's the right week of the calendar, and we do them multiple times through the year. But the marketing team goes all in, and the HR department goes all in, and they come up with fun things and exciting things and prizes and different hokey stuff. And it really is that catalyst when you talk about you're working to death the people that you have.
Yeah.
You know, it's that little catalyst that
to
says,
appreciate
okay,
'em.
it is a little bit better here. Maybe I'm making $2 an hour less, but you know, we're appreciated, that
Right.
kind of thing. And we had a
The
customer
environment and
right.
yeah.
We had a customer appreciation week a couple weeks or a month ago now, I guess. And again, it's so well received. It you know, it's hokey, it's this, it's that, but who doesn't like to be heard, you know, heard
appreciated,
or
pat on the
appreciate you, thank you, that sort of thing.
Yep, absolutely. So
But,
that's
So
good.
if you're listening and you need a job and you want to be
Rondout,
appreciated.
rondoutbank.com.
Yep.
Yeah, they gave us on our brief. If
Yeah.
you're interested in a career in banking, we're hiring retail
Yeah.
positions.
Good.
Give us a call.
Good.
Reach out.
Another big initiative that we have going on is financial literacy and education. So, of course, the rug's been pulled a little bit about getting into the schools. I'm finding that I can work with some of the community leaders and educate adults because they need adult education to be able to support their kids. That's number one. But number two, we've designed some products to encourage kids to deposit. I don't know, Tony, I'm sure you remember, like I do in the Catholic school, you had your little envelope every week, you know,
Right,
and you put
right.
your 4 cents in there or whatever. But we opened a Lighthouse savings account, and we pay them like $10 on their birthday month, or we match up to a certain amount.
Great, that's
and it's just
awesome.
to get kids thinking about what's
Finances,
an account, what's
saving,
deposit,
right.
what's that mean, you know? So that's, and again, so when you can't do it through the traditional rails, which is getting into the school and doing the formalized, you know, financial ed, let's do it one-on-one with every kid, with every family. Go into the neighborhoods, go into the Boys and Girls Club, go into the Y, you know, do it that way. So That's something I'm pretty proud of.
That's cool.
Certainly. All right,
and balancing a checkbook. Somebody needs to teach these kids how to. I can't believe they don't teach that in school.
They don't know what a checkbook.
There's QuickBooks now.
Yeah, it's all QuickBooks. Use your.
So I've never balanced a checkbook before.
I've
never balanced a checkbook.
What?
My entire
Mamma
life.
mia, Papa
Yeah.
Pia.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh God, you're like
Is that
my
a
husband.
requirement
I'm
to
like
work at
once
a
a
bank?
week.
Yeah.
Go on Rondout.
So the Rotary Club in Highland, which you guys have funded many times, thank you so much. The restaurant revival, by the way, was such an amazing
Sounds like it
success.
was, yeah.
I'm handing checks to restaurants, $3,500, $2,500.
That's so cool.
Big deal. I mean, it's
Was that your brainchild, or was it a?
It actually, I'm not sure where that came from. I don't know.
What a
Frank
great way
Campagna
to do
helped
it,
us with
yeah.
it, but yeah, a couple of Rotarians came up with the idea. I mean, we raised about $20,000 for the restaurants. I mean, it's just
Unbelievable.
crazy. So so that's going good. But we do junior achievement in the Highland schools. We have
I remember junior achievement.
25 classes, and I used to teach second grade, but we do checking, all that personal finance stuff.
I know they do it at
5
Kingston
weeks.
Catholic too. Junior Achievement does.
Yep, and we do that. That's a big program of ours. It's all practical stuff, that they don't have time
Life
to teach.
skills.
Life skills, we don't have time
Right.
to teach.
How to
And
iron your
volunteers
slacks.
do that. Yeah.
I always say the best class. I tell my kids all the time, the best class I ever took in high school was keyboarding.
Yeah, me too.
Keyboarding, yeah.
We called it typing when I took it. And when you'd hear ding, you hit return. But
You're ding.
but I can tell you where the keys are without looking. Yeah.
Okay, so Cheryl Bauer, CEO of Rondout Savings, thank you for everything.
Thank you for having us here.
Supporting KCR.
Yes.
We appreciate that. We
And
have
all
our
the other not-for-profits in the community that you guys support.
That's it. We are community. I mean,
You are.
It's not
You
a
are.
commercial. I am such a firm believer
true.
that if you have a strong community, you have a great life. And
Right.
that is
right. It's a partnership. Evan Rothfuss, thank you so much for all you're doing, for the businesses, for your clients, for folks that you're in relationships with that help day in, day out. So thank you for your
Thank both of you too, because you both do a lot. So
we try. We're all swimming together, rowing together, right?
together.
And
Going the same way.
figure out what your transformational personality is.
Yes. Are
Call
you a
Krist-
Viking, a
Right,
superhero?
Right. A cowboy girl.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, something, all right, listen, everyone, be good, be safe out there. Go out and do a random act of kindness for somebody, please. I just did that the other day, paid for somebody's milk at Stewart's, back of me, But then she said, no. What she said was, would you also get my gas because because I'm not getting just this carton of milk. No.
Did she really say that?
She did.
That just ruined the story. You should've left that part out.
Yeah, you should have left that out.
No,
because
no.
That
Left
is
that out.
terrible.
she was joking.
No, she was joking. But
Oh,
what
okay.
she
Okay,
did
good.
say is,
Okay, that's
thank
good.
you for the offer, but I'm filling up my tank, and I said,
Good.
rain check for you. So
Good.
that's no. She didn't say, would you pay for my gas too? She didn't say that.
Please be kind.
Be
You
kind
never
out
know.
there.
when
You never know.
even
You never
just
know.
A smile.
Look,
Sometimes you don't know.
that's-
Somebody's having a bad day. and-
Don't you notice when, as soon as the mask came off and you could smile,
Yes.
people were happier.
Happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smiled.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Lawrence, thank you.
Yes.
Everyone have a great weekend. Be kind, be safe.